The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Can Aaron Glenn salvage the Jet season? Is he actually in danger of going one and done? We'll talk about that and much more. Will Parkinson will join us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Justice's numbers are not good from this game. Is he going to be your quarterback next week, or would you consider?
What kind of question is that?
How much worse can it get for Aaron Glenn's Jets team? Can he salvage this season and give us something to be excited about? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now. Here we go, Jet fans. Happy Football Friday. I'm rocking my Nick Mangold, sending my best to Nick, and hopefully a Jet fan out there and Asmaniac out there can help Nick in his search for finding someone that could donate a kidney so Nick could continue to live his life. And we're all, of course, sending our best to Nick Mangold. So I wanted to rock the jersey here for him on a Football Friday. That said, Jets and the Panthers on Sunday. Maybe they could play inspired football and win one for Nick Mangold. That'd be nice. Let's get a win against the Panthers at home. A reminder that win or lose, next week we are doing our first and probably only regular season watch party for the Jets this year. Goldies Tavern next week. Bring the Asmaniacs all together. Free beer included if you're wearing Jets and or merch from the show. And we'll watch the Jets and the Bengals. We'll commiserate all together. And after watching Joe Flacco last night, my God, that game is not going to be easy. And let's be real, any game on the Jets schedule the rest of the way is not easy. Right now, the Jets do not deserve any benefit of the doubt. They're the only team in the league without a win. If the draft were today, they'd be picking first overall in said draft. So that is where we're at. But we're going to have fun regardless. And if you're interested in attending our watch party, make sure you RSVP with the link in the description. You have a chance to win a Franz Brees Hall jersey, signed Wayne Corbett football, signed Kevin Mawai jersey, among other top prizes. So keep that in mind. The link to do so, again, is in the description for the show you're watching right now. Or if you're a podcast listener, it is in the podcast description on either Apple or Spotify. So check that out. Let's talk about last night before we bring Will Parkinson on our show. I mean, I'm going to pull up the box score here. Is anyone surprised? Is anyone surprised? Right? Like, this is what happens to the Jets. And this is the problem with being a Jet fan. Just when you think it can't get any worse, somehow it always does. And here's the thing, right? Rodgers playing well. I'm not surprised. If you've been following the show the entire offseason, I don't know how many times I had to say that Aaron Rodgers could still play at a competent level. Is he what he once was? No. But, man, that arm still works as he threw the farthest pass in the NFL from air yardage on that Hail Mary at the end since 2017. Right? Now, Joe Flacco doing what he's doing is, like, just wild, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers defense, not as good as we think it is, right? Justin Fields looked great against them, for example. But that was a great game last night just as a football fan. Can we start there? And look, I understood the Jets' thought process moving on from Aaron Rodgers. I think we need to have an honest conversation, though, about the state of the Jets and what that decision kind of reveals and the ramifications of said decision. It was their right to move on from Rodgers. And I'll be the first to tell you, I think Aaron Glenn so far has looked like such a bad coach. I don't think Aaron Rodgers would have made this Jets team a playoff team this year. I don't. My hope was, if Glenn was a competent coach, defense would get back to being what it was with Saleh. Rodgers, with a run game, would be able to play above average football, which in Pittsburgh, guess what? That's exactly what he's doing. It's exactly what he's doing. You know, last night, one of the interceptions, certainly not on him at all. He moved around great. He still could play. He obviously has to stay healthy, but he's the only quarterback in that division that actually has stayed healthy. So Like Aaron Rodgers is still an above average starter in this league. And I said that at the end of last year. And if the Jets wanted to move on, that's their right. They have every right to do so. But just know, Aaron Glenn, you'll be judged based on that decision, right? Like they went in on Justin Fields, gave him $30 million guaranteed. He couldn't complete a forward pass this past game. So you could spin it however you want to spin it. But Aaron Rodgers is still significantly better than Justin Fields. And we were sold on the Jets being better coached to overcome the fact that they downgraded that quarterback. But some of you out there who tried to pretend like Fields is somehow better than Rodgers, I hope you look at yourself in the mirror this morning with great shame. I really do. Because you could be on board with moving on from Rodgers. See, there's a nuanced conversation that no one wants to have. You could say it was the right move with the new regime to move on from Rodgers because you didn't want to deal with some of the cap stuff down the road. But you also could acknowledge, well, why did you give Justin Fields $30 million guaranteed? Why did you give Justin Fields the starting job without any competition? Like, you could be critical of other decisions involving the quarterback spot, even if you still think it was the right move to move on from Rodgers. And I understood it. I did. And I think Aaron Glenn with Aaron Rodgers was not going to work. But the problem is, if they had kept Rodgers, I think the Jets are maybe 2-4. And a lot of fans with RDS, Rodgers derangement syndrome, you all would be blaming Rodgers for that. So I'm glad Rodgers got to escape this hellhole that is the New York Jets. I really am. Because now you can see it's all been about the coaching. Is Rodgers perfect? No, but he's still above average. He's still better than anything we as Jet fans have had in a decade since 1 year of Fitzpatrick. He's way better than Justin Fields. But the blame would have been all on Rodgers because I don't think at this stage of his career he would have been good enough to overcome this bleep show. He wouldn't have fixed the defense, which is supposed to be Aaron Glenn's calling card. So it would have been a mess. So we had to go to a real team like the Steelers so we could be in a spot where if everything else is in place like we thought it would have been with the Jets, he could still show that he could play. So that's how I look at it. I'm not like that upset the Jets moved on from Rodgers. I'm more upset with just the arrogance of this head coach to bring Aaron Rodgers in, not even really seemingly give him a chance and just throw him, out the door. I think that's a bad look for Glenn. And at the time I said it, so this is not revisionist history. I said ultimately, to me, it didn't matter because the decision I believe was already made. I don't think anyone was getting the Jet job that wanted to bring Aaron Rodgers back. I think that's why they didn't even bother to interview Mike McCarthy, for example. Why they didn't even bother to request Pete Carroll or John Gruden, right? Because I think any experienced coach would have wanted Rodgers for a year and probably drafted a quarterback. That's what I wanted. I remember doing shows. My plan was you keep Rodgers, not just because he's your best option, but 2, he was willing to take a pay cut. 3, it means you have Devontae Adams for another year, and we don't have this black hole in our receiver room outside of Garrett Wilson, who's not going to play Sunday. So now we're really going to see how bad this wide receiver room is. And really, the 4th thing was I wanted to draft the quarterback. And I knew the Jets didn't have to do it at number 7. I wanted to do exactly what the Giants did. I didn't want Jackson Dart at 7, but I said if they traded back into round 1, I'd have no problem with that. I get it. You just have conviction in your moves. Or take someone in the 2nd round. I'll find the receipts for that. That was my original plan. And you can't tell me that plan would not have been better than what the Jets ended up doing. But it's their right to move on from Aaron Rodgers. That's fine. I think the problem is they were so gung-ho on Justin Fields, and he can't play. Like, that was Aaron Glenn's big move. We're going to let him play quarterback. He was taking shots at Justin Fields' previous coaches for why it hadn't worked out for him. Let's not forget that. And really, just the arrogance of Glenn with that decision, it looks bad in hindsight. You can't deny that. We all loved, the leadership we thought we had and the bravado and, we're going to make a decision on Rodgers. Great. But when you follow that up with Fields being the worst starter in the league this year and the team being the only team without a win, it looks poor. And Glenn's got to own that. And if I'm Woody Johnson, I'm completely irate that I'm giving Justin Fields $30 million guaranteed. And I got to watch Joe Flacco last night drop back 47 times, 10 days into learning a brand new offense on a new team and throw 3 touchdowns. Honestly, Flacco would bother me more than Rodgers if I'm Woody. It all comes back to coaching. And that's why I don't think Aaron Rodgers would have made the Jets that much better. They wouldn't be winless. But Rodgers going elsewhere just kind of proves what I've been saying the whole time. It's always been about coaching. He's not the Aaron Rodgers of 2017 where he could overcome everything and just be awesome and carry a team, or like what Peyton Brady would do and all these guys, Mahomes. He's not able to do that. But you put him in the right spot, he's still an above-average starter. And by allowing him to go to Pittsburgh, he's able to still prove that. As far as Flacco, though, next week, that is not going to be an easy game. And now the Bengals feel like they need that game, right? All of a sudden, they're a win away from being back to 500. They know Joe Burrow is coming back in December. AFC feels wide open. Ton of parity this year. The Bills are not that dominant team we thought. Not even close. Kansas City has its warts. The Ravens are obviously off to a 1-5 start. Cincinnati's like, wait a second. We get back to 4-4 next week. We beat the Jets. We're right in this thing. So that's a much harder game to win because you're going to get total focus and buy-in from the Bengals now. So it's tough. But Rodgers looked good last night. A couple things could be true. You could still think it was ultimately the right move, but acknowledge that it should give you some concern about this head coach's ability to properly evaluate quarterbacks when he's asked what he wants in a quarterback, and he said, I want a winner. So the response to that is to sign Justin Fields, who's won nothing. In fact, the only time he won anything is when Mike Tomlin was coaching him, and they were 4-2, and he benched him. And that always was the big thing for me, right? Aaron Glenn knows more than Mike Tomlin. Right? Aaron Rodgers wasn't good enough for Aaron Glenn, but he was good enough for Mike Tomlin. But I understood moving on. Once again, I'm not sitting here saying, like, how could they do it? It's just more about how it's now looked, where Glenn puffed his chest about everything this team was going to be, and it's been the total opposite. And that's concerning, because if this team is as bad as it looks like it's going to be this year, why should I trust this regime to make smart moves in the offseason? On top of the fact, they're going to be responsible for drafting and then developing a quarterback, because they're going to take a quarterback. They are. I don't know how you could feel any sort of confident that they would then pick the right one. I don't know. Will Parkinson is going to be joining us coming up. Let me share today's awesome raffle prize. In show today, Football Friday, we step up the giveaways. How about a guy who played his ass off last week, and we need him to have a big game on Sunday? Jermaine Johnson. Signed Jermaine Johnson jersey up for grabs at the end of today's show. If you don't win, you're entered in the weekly raffle Tuesday morning for a chance to win a signed Joe Namath helmet, signed Wayne Corvette football, and how about another crack at a JJ jersey? That's right. So you can win a JJ jersey today on the show or on Tuesday, but either way, if you enter, you got a chance to win. Super Chats cut the line and also get you in the raffle if they're $10 or more, plus gifted memberships get you there as well. Let me say this for any Jet fans who might have extra tickets for the Panthers game. I've been able to give away a couple. It's good to see a lot of season ticket holders are still actually using their tickets. This is the only home game I personally will be attending. If you want to stop by Lot E26 and say hello, or if you even want to tailgate with us at Tailgate Joe, you go on Tailgate Joe's website and buy your ticket. Or if you want the Asmaniac discount rate, you see Nick Shine's info there. But let me say this to anyone who's going or on the fence about going. If you have extra tickets, I have some Asmaniacs that are looking to go. So as always, you send them to me and donate them. I'll make sure they get to people that could actually use them and support the Jets on Sunday, because I think the weather's going to be awesome. So at least it's a good day to tailgate and experience football, even if it's horrifically bad football, which to this point, that is what the Jet season has entailed. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. We will get into the title of this YouTube video with Will. What can Glenn do to salvage things? Right? Obviously, it starts with winning some games. You can't go 0-17. But how do we feel like at the end of this year, there's still some hope for us as Jet fans? And don't just tell me it's, they have the number one pick and maybe they get lucky. Because you have any faith in the Jets surrounding that number one pick in the right spot? The last 4 number one picks in the draft, their head coaches were fired in the middle of their second season. I mean, come on. Couple memberships here to start us off. Black Gypsy enters our signed JJ jersey raffle for 1. Green Gang enters for 1. Thank you to both those esteemed gentlemen. Mike in the house. Mike DeRamo, I recognize that profile picture. He is in the Asmaniac raffle for 5.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
Thank you to Mike. Connie Carberg in the house, one of the all-time great New York Jets. She joins our JJ raffle for 5 with the super chat. Aria checks in. I blame myself. The following jerseys is what I own: Darrelle Revis, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, and Aaron Rodgers. I apologize. Well, I can tell you, I owned a Sam jersey. I certainly owned a Revis jersey, still do. And I have multiple Aaron Rodgers jerseys, so we're all to blame, man. We're fans. We're cursed. That's how it feels a lot of times. Revis winning the Super Bowl with the Pats. I mean, that's more about the Jets' incompetence for trading Revis in the first place. I never wanted them to trade Revis. When they traded him to Tampa, it crushed me. And Sam, look, Sam is the shining example of why, if the Jets are 2-15, if Aaron Glenn looks this in over his head at the end of the year, Sam's the best reason why you're not letting Aaron Glenn pick a quarterback. Sorry. If I own the team. Oh, but Jake, Woody's paying Aaron Glenn a lot of money. He's a billionaire. It's ashtray money to him. He just bought a soccer team across the pond. He has the money. It's a matter of, will he admit a mistake and one and done a coach if it continues to look this bad? Or is he so stubborn that he picked the right people? He ran the right search process that he wants to give Glenn another year. That's what it comes down to. Sam's the best example why you got to move on. Get a real offensive coach. Go hire Mike McCarthy like you should have done for Sam Darnold in 2019. That's what we're talking about. Joe the Jet, Super Chat, he says, let's do focus on the future instead of dwelling on the past. I get the Rodgers glaze, but what is done is done. Let's focus on getting a quarterback. Well, Joe, if you don't want to dwell, then focusing on getting a quarterback, you know what that implies? Losing football games. And look, no matter where the Jets are picking, they're going to go quarterback. It's just a matter of, do they have to move up for one? Are they taking the third quarterback that's on the board, the second, the fourth? There could be 4 or 5 guys that go in the first round this year. This idea, not a great year to have the number 1 pick. Really? We say this every year. And guess what ends up happening? A quarterback goes number 1. That's what happens. Craig in the raffle for 5. He gifted 5 channel memberships. Craig, thank you. You are in our raffle for 5. Let me see if I can pull up who got the memberships here. Craig's 5 memberships went to listener Bill Clinton, Cody, Troy M, JR, and Bishop. They are all in our signed Jermaine Johnson giveaway at the end of the show. Gavitt in the raffle as well. He gifted himself to enter there. Gavitt, job well done. All right. Comments, questions, your super chats, you guys know. They cut the line. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Here's your latest look at the Jets and the Panthers line for Sunday. Jets holding steady as a 1.5 underdog at home. Here's why the line is tight. Carolina coming in playing well, right? Well, they've been awful on the road this year, 0-3. Carolina is a favorite historically the last couple of years. One of the worst, if not the worst in the NFL. Also, Bryce Young, I believe his record on the road in his career is 1-15. So that's why the line is this close, despite the fact that the New York Jets are the only team in the NFL without a win right now. And Carolina is coming in on a 2-game winning streak, having beat the Cowboys, who destroyed the Jets for a lot of that game a few weeks ago in that same stadium where this game will be on Sunday. Do I like the Jets on Sunday? No. Would I be flabbergasted if they won? No. This team's not going to go winless. These next 3 games, if you're ever going to win some games, Carolina at home, Cincinnati next week, and Cleveland after the bye, these are 3 teams in your weight class. Despite what Cincy did last night, we know Thursday Night Football can be weird, right? Home team has a big advantage. Jets last year are proof of that. They won 2 of their 5 games at home on Thursday Night Football. And as I always joke, no team is better Wednesday through Friday than the Jets, which checks out when they went 2-0 on Thursdays last week. All right, open phone lines as we await Mr. Parkinson to join us. First up today is a guy who just super chatted us, Joe the Jet. Hello, Joe.
What's up, Jake? How we doing today? Good?
What's up, Joe? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Honestly, going into this game against Carolina, I'm very up and down, just with the thought process of what's going to happen, because like you said, Bryce Young isn't really great on the road, but honestly, I don't see it this week. I don't see us coming out on top this week. I think Carolina with their running back Rico Dowell, who's been killing it. I think they're going to have a great rushing game today. This week, I think they're going to have a great rushing game, and I think our offense is going to struggle. I mean, we're out. We don't have Josh Reynolds as well. There's a possibility we won't have Josh Reynolds as well, and we don't have Garrett Wilson. So immediately, we don't have a lot of wide receivers stacking that Justin Fields can throw to, and Justin Fields can't throw the football in the pocket anyway. So, I mean, there's not a lot of things to be positive about going into this game. But going back to what my comment said about, like, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is at this point, Rodgers is no longer here. It sucks. And, we wish that things could be different, but they weren't. And I'm not going to lie, Aaron Glenn has to own this decision about going with Justin Fields over Aaron Rodgers, honestly. And you know what? It's probably going to haunt us for the entire year. It's probably what us fans are going to be talking about. Should Aaron Glenn have gone with Aaron Rodgers? I do agree with you that this team wouldn't have been a playoff team with Rodgers, but they would have won a game at this point. They would have been like at least 2-3, I think. They would have been at least a little bit competent.
Well, yeah, but the reason why they wouldn't be better is because Aaron Glenn's not a good coach. So I'm glad that Glenn could be exposed for the phony he's been so far, and Rodgers could prove he's still a competent starter, which has been my argument the entire time.
But, another thing that Glenn said this offseason that just made no sense and just made me go like, what? I think was when he said he was happy that Justin Fields wasn't a celebrity quarterback. Well, first things first about the celebrity quarterback. Every celebrity quarterback that we've seen, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, all these other quarterbacks that are in commercials like Baker Mayfield, whatever, they're MVP candidates. They're great quarterbacks. And Justin Fields is not a great quarterback. So basically, Aaron Glenn is saying that he would rather have a not so great quarterback over a guy that's an MVP contender. That's what I get out of it.
Well, I mean, those comments to me, like they're silly because in the NFL today, Joe, every quarterback that's any good is a celebrity. It's the most popular sport in the world, or in the country, I should say. One of the most popular sports in the world. But certainly in the U.S., like if you're a legit starting quarterback in the NFL, you're a celebrity. There's levels to it. Obviously, Rodgers is probably the most famous active player in the league right now, either him or Kelsey because of his fiance. But I like that comment to me was dumb. Dumb. Because if Aaron Rodgers was good enough for Mike Tomlin, how does Aaron Glenn not even consider it? I mean, that's the bottom line. But once again, I understood what they were doing. I get it. But you can't tell me that you have this great plan for Fields. He's never been coached right. And then we just saw Justin Fields be as poorly coached as I've ever seen a quarterback be coached on Sunday. Not one design run. Oh, but Jake, he said his legs weren't doing well this week. That's why. Then why is he out there? Know your team. Know your players. Right? It just makes you look even more incompetent if you're the head coach of this team. If Justin Fields can't use his legs to make plays, he's worse than Zach Wilson as far as being a pocket quarterback. You're not going to win. The move would have been to go to Tyrod. They'd have a win right now. If they kept the right kick / punt returner on their team, they would have beat Aaron Rodgers week 1. That's on the coach who's also making all these decisions on the team. We as fans knew Xavier Gibson didn't belong on the team. Shouldn't the head coach know that? There's a lot of just red flags with Glenn so far. I'm not saying he can't improve and turn it around. I'm hoping he does. I'm a Jet fan. I'm going to this game on Sunday. But I'm just not going to sit here and blindly be like, well, the Lions suck, so Aaron Glenn's going to be good too because of that. Like, really? He wasn't the head coach there. I hope. But once again, the Jets did the exact same thing. They hired a first-time coach from a defensive background, and they're trying to get a different result. The only difference is Glenn played for the Jets. That's it. Glenn might sound different than how Bowles sounded at the podium or how Robert Saleh handled things, but he's the same coach unless he wins. Then he's different. And he's got the audacity to try and tell us that they're not the same old Jets. Since he said that, you know what's happened? They've embarrassed themselves in 3 consecutive weeks. They embarrassed themselves against Miami. They embarrassed themselves against the Cowboys. It's 23-6 at halftime, or 23-3 in that one at halftime. I heard from people that said they left at halftime of that game. season ticket holders who called it into my radio show last week. And then the London game, the team didn't embarrass themselves. The coach did. The team was ready to play. The defense balled. The special teams provided a boost. Everyone was ready to go besides Fields, who didn't have it, and the coach was too stubborn to make a change or had no grasp of the actual game to make a change. Either way, he looks inept. Then he's offended by the questioning afterwards, being asked if Fields could be benched this week. Dude, you were afraid to let him throw at the end of the half. It's a fair question when he has negative 10 net passing yards. It's a mess right now. He has to improve. Otherwise, he's not surviving this. He shouldn't. If he survives, it's because Woody Johnson just doesn't want to admit a mistake. I don't think it's really about the money. Oh, does Woody really want to pay another? Go look at Woody Johnson's net worth. Come back to me. Man with a rake. Is there any real scenario where Aaron Glenn is a head coach making the first pick in the draft? I hope not, but it's the Jets. So whatever we think they should do, they typically do the opposite. So, yeah, it's definitely likely. Or definitely possible. Fiore checks in. This is our guy, Paul. It says, just root for the tank, guys. At worst, we get a quarterback we could have some hope for. At best, we clean house and hire an offensive-minded head coach to develop a quarterback. Fair. I just can't root for the tank yet, Paul. I can't do it. Too early, man. It's not even Halloween yet. Can't do it. I get it. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for doing that. I won't tell anyone how to fan, but I'm not going to do it. Mike D's Nuts has entered our raffle, and he entered twice by gifting not one, but 2 memberships to the community. Mike, appreciate you, man. We're giving away a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey at the end of the show, and this is for you. These nuts. All right. Thank you, Mike D's Nuts. Hit the like button, everyone, if you're just tuning in. Want to shout out everyone on my Patreon again. Thank you to everyone who supports me there. It's the best way to support the show and keep it going. It's patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. A couple new Patreon members. Big time. Aaron Bagley. They joined on a month-to-month basis. Mikey Quinn and Felicia Rosansky, they each signed up for the year. They earned 10 raffle tickets, saved 15% in the process. So thank you to both of them for their support. Also, thank you to Matthew L., Kevin Donahue for being our most recent Patreon supporters. We update the list of names in the intro every single month. I don't know this guy's name, but his username is 111157. Says, you just told Don LaGreca you didn't want Glenn fired after 1 year. That's not what I said. I said I didn't want him fired right now. I don't want to fire Aaron Glenn at 0-6. People were saying fire him now. And I said, that's ridiculous. Don't fire him now. Give him the entire year. And if you're Woody Johnson, stay out of his way. Let him do whatever he wants for the full year. I did not say I want Aaron Glenn fired after 1 year. I want Aaron. Let me make it very clear. If the Jets win 2 games, yes, I want to change the head coach. If they're sitting there with the top pick in the draft, I don't want Aaron Glenn drafting a quarterback. Let me be I don't know how many times I could say this. I don't want Aaron Glenn fired at all. I want him to turn this around. I want the Jets to win games. I just said I'm not rooting for losses yet. So anyone saying I want Glenn fired, you're wrong. I want Glenn gone if they can't turn this around and they're the worst team in the league. This team should not be the worst team in the league. There's talent on this team. If Adam Gase can win 2 games with an infinitely worse roster, the Jets should be able to win at least 4 games this year. Salah won 4 with a way worse team, too. I don't want Aaron Glenn fired. Yeah, I want to fire a guy who wanted this job, called it his dream job. No, I want him to turn it around. But I'm not going to sit here and just give Aaron Glenn the blind faith he will turn it around. If this team with talent on it, with a win total at 6.5, meaning 7 was reasonable to expect this year. If they win 2 games or less, why are we keeping the coach? Adam Gase won 7 in 2019 after starting 1-7. Can we see some turnaround here from Glenn? They're not going to get to 7. Can we see 5 wins this year? Is that crazy? Yeah, it sounds like it's crazy now, but come on. Tyrone says, great show. Love the opening. Got invited to the Chargers Colts at SoCal Stadium Sunday. It's a 1 p.m. game. The Jets are 10 a.m. Wearing the Joe Namath jersey so I don't get laughed at. Well, I'll tell you what. Can't go wrong with the Broadway Joe jersey, Tyrone. Enjoy the game, man. Probably going to be a lot better than the Jets on Sunday. He's in the raffle for 2, by the way. All right. Let's get to our esteemed guest. He is joining us live from his car. I listened to his podcast where he was up apparently at 4:30 in the morning recording it. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Turn on the Jets pod, Will Parkinson, joins us now. Hello, Will. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Disaster? Oh, fuck me. Hold on. Let's try this. Wait. How are we doing now?
I don't know. I guess we'll play it by ear. At first, you sounded
Let's
like you were
see,
underwater.
I was on Bluetooth. That was a disaster. Any better?
It looks good. Now, are you parked?
I just parked because I was trying to drive on the LIE and it was not working.
Yeah, if you're parked, I feel like this will be okay.
Yeah, no, we should be good. I was actually up at 4. I had to take my dog out to poop. You know, we don't want Leo barking on the stream. And then I woke up and just started rage potting, which is always fun, you know.
I love it. All right. Well, let me ask you this, Will. I'll be at the game Sunday. You go to every game, so I'm not even going to ask if you're going to be there. We know you will be. What if the Jets are going to win Sunday? What is the ideal path for them to finally get a win over a Panthers team that comes in feeling good about themselves, 2 straight wins, and they are a slight favorite as a road team in this one?
I think it's kind of the same path of last week in a lot of ways. You know, Broncos were coming off an emotional high win against Philly, trip to London, come out with a little bit of a slow start. The defense is able to force an early turnover. You get a nice return. You know, you capitalize, you make your kicks. You're not a team with 12 penalties. You were a team last week with 2 penalties, one of which was a meaningless one on special. So, like, a lot of the same recipe to win. Jake, I know this sounds I'm not that smart, so I feel like I sound like even more of an idiot saying this, but, like, the Jets' keys to winning are very elementary. Get off the field on 3rd down. Convert your 3rd and shorts. Score touchdowns, not field goals in the red zone. Create turnovers. Don't be the most penalized team. And end halves the right way. And I know it sounds very elementary, and the Jets have not done a good job of this. Obviously, they're 0-6. But, like, Carolina's coming off back-to-back home wins. Young team. Awful road team. Not that MetLife's going to be any type of cauldron for anybody to go play at. But the point being, like, can they not sit there and go, all right, can the defense hold them to 17 points, 17 to 20 points-ish? Can the Jets create a turnover or 2? Can Kenny break another, not a touchdown, but can he set them up with a return at the Panthers 47, and the Jets need 20 yards, 20 yards to go get, they can control the clock a little bit. And most importantly, Jake, I think the one key, and I know, where you're kind of out with Glenn, but can they adjust, right? I think this is something the rest of the year that, honestly, while it's not a given, you'd like to see, hey, they botched the end of the half last week, right? I think we all know that. I think even the biggest Jets fans, green goggles, et cetera, would say, hey, that was poor. Can the Jets Sunday, can Glenn make an adjustment? And can we say, hey, he learned from his mistake. That was awful against Denver. But, hey, they actually were the better coached team at the end of the first half, end of the second half. Am I expecting that? Probably not. But I'd like to see it because I'd like to be able to say, hey, like, there's tangible things he's gotten better at. That would go a long way in having the Jets win on Sunday.
I think this is a big game for the head coach, Will, because even if you're the biggest Glenn fan, that was an embarrassment that the entire league saw and every fan saw this past week. So now it's no longer, oh, the Jets are just bad and Jet fans and, the Jet media verse is aware of it. Now it's like, oh, they're a national punching bag again. How they respond in this game and the 2 games after that feel like you're facing teams in your weight class. I think we learn a lot about this coach, especially if Fields goes out there and he struggles again. He's got to be willing to make a change to save the team, save the locker room, because I think you start approaching the uh-oh territory with that. If Fields is terrible, he's getting booed, and then Glenn is just sitting there not doing anything, as we probably lost Will due to the fact that his internet connection is almost as bad as the New York Jets. So we'll call back, and we'll bring you back on here. Hit the like button if you guys are watching the show live and or after the fact. Again, thanks to everyone who supports the program here. It's amazing to talk about a team as bad as the Jets year-round and be able to do it because of how incredible this fan base is. Looking forward to interacting with a ton of you on Sunday. We got over 100 people that are going to be sitting with us in section 129. We also have a bunch of people that are just going to the game. They're going to be coming to our tailgate in lot E26 beforehand. So I'm certainly excited about all that. Mimosa checks in. How about a 50 spot, 10 raffle tickets for Mimosa? Let's go. Mimosa says, catching up on your show, I'm so behind, but I agree Rodgers wouldn't have played as well with the Jets versus the Steelers. He's thriving under a real coach and leader. I'm happy for him. Last night was great football. Yeah, like I understood the decision to move on from Rodgers. I think what it does, though, is just exposes Aaron Glenn even more. Because if Rodgers was back, the Jets are 2-4 right now, and the Rodgers derangement syndrome people are just blaming him for everything. It gives the coach a pass, and then it's like, well, now Glenn gets to pick his guy. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Are we sure we want that based on what we have seen? 11 games to go for Aaron Glenn to make that debate a definitive, yes, we want you to be here because you did a good job. You handled adversity. You got the team to still play together. We saw real improvement. And that's what every Jet fan should be rooting for. That this guy can be, the coach that you feel confident in going forward. Might be asking for a lot, though. I mean, let's call it for what it is. It's been ugly. And I think what's so concerning too, Mimosa, it's been getting worse, not better. Week 1 was their best performance. The first sign of trouble for me with Glenn, I remember saying this on the show, when they didn't show up against Buffalo, second ever game, and they got just pantsed and embarrassed. And it turns out Buffalo is very flawed. Like, there's no dominant team in the conference this year. And for the Jets to show up and look that bad in Glenn's second ever game, that was alarming. Because then you saw even a team like the Dolphins, who have so many of their own issues, nearly beat them, on Thursday Night Football as a road team in a short week. Then you saw New England with their coach in his first year and a roster that's, quite frankly, not as good as the Jets roster, go out there and outright win. That was the first time, like, uh-oh. And then you lose in Tampa. He says you're not the same old Jets, and guess what? You are, Aaron. Actually, no, you're worse, at least statistically, as far as first-year Jet coaches. No one's ever been this bad to start. So hopefully he turns it around, man. We're all rooting for wins. I believe we got Will Parkinson with us again. Will?
Dude, how we doing now? Is this better?
I think it is. It sounds like you're not in the car anymore. That might help.
I'm not. I'm no longer in the car. I saw the Ghost 22's comments that I'm not adding anything to the show, so I had to hop back in, you know.
Well, I disagree, for the record. I was
did
just
run
talking
into
about
a lot of Asmaniacs I ran into in London that were like, I watch you on Jake's show. You guys do a great job. So suck it to everyone that doesn't think we do a good job.
I love it. I'll ask you about London at the end because I was there last year and had a blast. As far as what I was saying, I don't know what part it got cut off, but I really do think this is one of those games where, like, it's on the head coach to keep this team together, never have anything close to what we just saw last week again happen in any game, let alone this one. But, like, this to me is a real, like, litmus test on, like, where this team is at under Glenn based on how they respond on Sunday.
Yeah, I think you want to see them play at the same fire, same energy defensively on specials. I think outside of the quarterback last week, like, everyone kind of came to play, right? I think a lot of what we thought this season was going to be, just from a look perspective, was tight, close ball games. You're going to have to be good on defense, take the football away. You have to be good on specials, and then on offense, it was like run the football, and they're not going to be some explosive offense. And I think outside of Fields last week, you saw a lot of what we were kind of expecting, right? I think we were all like, oh, can they get enough on defense? Can they get enough on specials to keep it close? End of the fourth quarter, and they win some of the games they didn't win last year. And unfortunately, like, the offense was so putrid last week that it, made everything kind of turn to shit. But, like, can Justin Fields just be like the 27th best quarterback in the NFL this week? Right? Like, at some point, you got to complete 5-yard speed outs. You got to be able to pull it when Justin Fields doesn't use his legs anymore either, Jake. So this is a huge litmus test for them, right? It just is. It's like, it's Carolina's fine, solid team, but they're not like, they're not Denver's defense, and they're certainly not Denver's offense with Sean Payton there. So, like, I don't know. Am I going to pick them to win? No, because they haven't won a game. Why would I pick the Jets to win at any game yet? But if they sit there and lose 31-10, it would be a pretty big disaster. Like, there's a big difference to me of, they lose 17-16 this week, Jake, and they get walked off like they did against Pittsburgh. But, like, we're like, hey, much better performance. We're seeing signs. Sorry, but, like, I can deal with that. I cannot deal with 31-17. Bryce Young throws for 355 and Justin Fields throws 2 garbage time touchdowns. Can't deal with that.
Well, I mean, if that happens, when do you start to acknowledge the one and done conversation is a real thing?
I think the one and done conversation becomes a real thing if we get to second Patriots game, which is week 17, right? I think week 17.
Earlier than that, is it not? Oh, no, you just said the second
No,
Patriots game.
yeah,
Okay.
second Patriots game. It looks like shit for the next, I don't know, 6-7 weeks, where it's like they're looking a lot more like the Buffalo and Dallas games where they get steamrolled, and you're sitting there like they're uncompetitive. Like if they start becoming an uncompetitive outfit every week, and the problem is too, Jake, we don't know what's going to happen at the deadline. They could trade off half the roster, and it's like they're likely just tanking. I'm sure it'll be somewhere in between, but I think you start to have the one and done conversation. If they get embarrassed, they get on national television, right? They play New England, I believe, week 11 or week 12 on national TV, or week 13, whatever it is. Every week, red zone's flipping it. Oh, the Jets get steamrolled again. That stuff keeps happening, and it's a lot more palatable. We could be in that situation. I think if they pick one, it's a real conversation. And I don't want it to be, but it probably is. I think if they end up 30-14, Jake, they pick third overall, and like they get one or two quote unquote fun wins at the end of the year, and there's like some type of competitiveness. It's probably not. I think the stat, the last 4 coaches that picked number 1 overall were lame duck coaches picking quarterbacks and got fired after year 1 or in year one of that rookie quarterback. That can't happen. My conspiracy theory, Jake, and tell me if this is crazy. This is my conspiracy theory, probably, of just trying to like rationalize what the hell we've watched the last 6 weeks. Is there a world in which Woody and Glenn are on the same page that this team sucked going into the year? They had to do the sell tickets thing. We're going to be competitive. But all at the same time, they were like, we're going to be awful and like, we're going to own it. Is there any chance that that's what happened? Or like, are they just actively bad and they're not trying to be bad?
I just think Aaron Glenn
there's no way, right?
Too much. Yeah, I mean, he came in and said, we're here to win now. He pushed back on any rebuild. He took shot after shot at Fields' previous coaches and said he's never been coached properly. We're going to let him play quarterback. He said all these things about how we're not going to be the most penalized team in the league. Penalties are still a huge problem. He said that the last 4 minutes of each half belonged to the coach. He's been horrific, and it was absolutely historic.
Yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake.
I'm a Jet fan. I want Aaron Glenn to turn this around, but I'm just not going to blindly say,
no,
he gets a second year no matter what. He's been an abject disaster so far.
No one should be no matter what. Not a single player on that team outside of the tackles, Garrett, Sauce, right, are guaranteed to be back next year. Because most of those guys you either can't trade or should not trade, or Pittman too. But like other than that, every single person, there should be like about 45-ish guys on that roster. And every person on that staff is competing to be earning their contract next year. And again, if they play like that, Jake, and they're still bad, I think all of us, no matter what, deep down would be like, I get it, right? You kind of be like, all right, maybe they're just not good enough, they're not talented enough, all that stuff. It's when the compete level and the just like dumb decisions pile up is, I think, your frustration and many people's frustration. Trust me, I was there. The frustration, dude. I had someone sitting next to me at that game. She goes, I don't watch football at all. Mom was really cool. Her and her daughter went to the game. They're season ticket holders, but like the husband usually go, whatever. Long story short, she's like, I don't know jack shit about football. He goes, I know when they score a touchdown, what that means. Other than that, I'm just here to drink. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Classic Jets fan in a good way. And she's like, the quarterback and the coach are a problem. This woman was probably 80 years old, had probably nine pints in her, and she still is acknowledging the dumb mistakes that were happening, the slow play of the quarterback. My point is that stuff can't continue. Is Michael Clemens being bad a thing? Who cares at this point, right? Like, that is the least of my concerns. My concerns is like, the quarterback looks like he shouldn't be on an NFL field, and the head coach looks overwhelmed and is swimming the last 4 minutes of each half. That stuff needs to change, or else you're going to end up honestly looking at probably 2-15, 1-16, and the one and done conversation becomes a real thing.
Well, the thing is, I remember Nate Hackett's first year with Denver. His first game, he had that debacle at the end.
Yep, you knew right away.
His first game. Like, sometimes you just know the coach is in over his head. Steve Wilkes was one and done when they had the first pick. Was the right move to move on.
How funny is that if Steve Wilkes is Aaron Glenn gets Steve Wilkes?
I mean, like, you're seeing it more and more. And to those who say, oh, well, Woody, is he really going to want to pay enough? Like, do people realize how much money Woody has? He just purchased a soccer team across the pond. I don't think it's about money with Woody. If he really needed to do it, he could. I think it's about ego with him, Will. Does he want to admit?
I think that Woody banged the table for AG. Like, that, it was his guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Does he want to admit a mistake?
Not the money.
It's ego.
He ate a ton of money to cut Rodgers, man. Like, that's not he dished out a ton of money in guarantees this offseason. He's been top 5 in cash spend. on the roster pretty much every year outside of last year. Do I think Woody wants to sit there and eat $75 million and blend in the entire staff's contracts? No, obviously not. No one with a straight face other than, never mind. People would want to, take that much money or give that much money away. But I think it's not even about that. It's paying the money and then acknowledging the guy that you wanted isn't the guy after 1 year is a pretty rough thing to have to admit. And maybe he will, and maybe Glenn won't be the guy. Maybe he's Dan Campbell and Jimmy Johnson. He's probably not. But people are going to talk themselves into Detroit was 0-10-1. Their first 11 games in Detroit, they were the laughing stock. Hey, Jimmy Johnson was 1-15. They were terrible, and then he turned it around. All those conversations, but there's also those guys. There's Steve Wilkes, and other things like that. Garrett Wilson is doubtful with a knee sprain for Sunday.
Here's the update for you from Glenn, who just spoke moments ago. Wilson, Stiggers, Cam Jones, all doubtful. Carter and Reynolds.
We can change that to out. We can change that to out.
Yeah.
If you guys, by the way, there's no more. I'm pretty sure probable anymore. Right? I think it's either probable or questionable. It's not a thing anymore. So it's either you're doubtful to play or questionable to play. I don't think probable is no longer a thing.
Correct. And by the way, it's a perfect segue to get your thoughts on this. It's not my biggest issue with Glenn because ultimately, winning games is the number one thing. But these press conferences, they're brutal, and they're turning people who are his supporters. They're turning him against him. He's not going to get the benefit of the doubt from anyone if he keeps acting this pompous and this delusional and quite frankly, clueless after games. For him to not know how long the field goal was at the end, even if Nick Folk would not have hit from 61 or 62, he's talking about it being 65 or 68. For him to snap at Costello the way he did about the question about benching Fields, that tells me that he didn't even consider doing it in the actual game against Denver, which just tells me a guy who claims to be the head coach of the whole team and not a defensive coach, a guy who is not play calling on defense or offense. His job is to manage the whole team. It tells me that he's just clueless, and that concerns me.
Yeah, that's fun. It's so weird doing your show without being able to see the comment section. I'm sure Curly, Ghost, and some other person's burner are probably cooking me right now, and then there's probably a good amount of people that no, and look, I think the press conference stuff is tough because in some ways I don't care, right? I think we all, I don't mean, I'm not being condescending. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. Saleh was a great presser in the beginning, and they were terrible too. Belichick's the worst notorious presser of all time, and until the last 2 years, he's been amazing. So does it really matter? No, but I do think some of the verbiage either needs to either go full coach speak, Jake, and just be a dick all the time, or don't do it at all. Because the in-between is where you're getting caught, where it's I don't know if I was more concerned that he either didn't know how long the field goal was, which is obviously a huge concern. And I really have a tough time believing he didn't know. I can't possibly imagine that's the case. But then he said we needed to get to the 35, Jake, which, yes, on a neutral field in cold weather, Folk probably could go to 52, 53 max. Okay, so that's around the 35. My issue, Jake, is that he kicked a 58-yarder 3 weeks ago and drilled it. Right down the middle, probably was good from 61, 62 maybe. Do I think that Nick Folk would have made the kick on Sunday? I do not. I don't. I think that was asking a lot. Do I think I like the chances better of Nick Folk and his big belly making an extra 3 yards on his kicks from what he did in Miami versus Justin Fields completing a forward pass? I think I did. You know what I mean? And then if you were going to kick it, if you weren't going to kick it the whole time, then why'd you run it on second down? And if you were going to kick the whole time, why'd you throw it on first and third down? There's no rhyme or reason to what they were doing. It was kind of panicking each time. That needs to be cleaned up. And the last thing on that last drive, Jake, which is part of what he talked about, Justin Fields has not been horrendous every game. That's unfair. He was amazing week one. He was okay against Miami and okay-ish against Dallas. He was horrendous against Buffalo, arguably just as bad as he was, if not worse, against Buffalo, because against Buffalo, he actually turned the football over, and the game was over when he fumbled.
And the defense didn't show up for that one.
The defense didn't show up, right. So it doesn't make him the bad guy, but his EPA was pretty much equally as bad. it's not even like just, I don't know. I keep going back to this dude, and I know it's probably not even answering the question, but like Kyle was on my show in August, and he's a Bears guy, right? Like by nature. And Kyle came on, and his entire segment was Fields is a great dude, very easy to root for. Everything he says is never going to be the wrong thing. He's going to have people that staunchly defend him. He'll have a few highlight plays. Everyone's going to talk about how good he is in the locker room, well-liked, hard worker, the whole thing. He goes, the unfortunate part is he never fucking wins games. That was exactly the quote. He was like, he's never going to win games. And unfortunately, his first six games as a Jet is pretty much that. He's had a couple cool plays. He hasn't said the wrong thing. He's tough as nails. He takes shots, the whole thing. Everyone loves him. The problem is their own six. And I know we probably want to touch on Rodgers quickly. With Rodgers, are they probably 2-4, 3-3? They probably are, Jake. They probably are. I would make the argument that the fan base would be apoplectic if the Jets went 8-9 with Rodgers and then $863 million and didn't get their quarterback.
But you know what, Will? Here's the problem.
Yeah.
They'd be blaming Rodgers, and the reality is it would give this coaching staff another year and give them a chance to pick a quarterback and ruin said guy. So I'm glad Aaron gets to go to a real team and gets to show he's still a competent starter, which is what he was last year. They just had the right support around him.
And people are going to take this the wrong way. And this is not even people are in the NFL for this for 4 years now. Rodgers is a really elite game manager still. Like he can, generally speaking, he'll operate the clock well. He'll get guys in positions. He dumps the ball off. The ball comes out of his hands quickly. He doesn't turn it over a ton, although last night obviously he had a couple interceptions, but generally doesn't turn it over a ton. But everything else around him has to be cooking. And that's what last night was obviously exactly what the Jets-Steelers game was. It's just the Bengals made the play at the end and the Jets didn't. But overall, I said this on the pod this morning. I think it's best for both that they moved on, and I was the biggest Rodgers fan, and he's going in the Hall of Fame 25 times over. Of all the Jets decisions that they've made over the last 7-8 years, Rodgers is not the one I'm the most annoyed about. I think I'm annoyed that they didn't take the full cap hit this year, but I'm very annoyed about it. But other than that, I kind of get it. I get them wanting to move on and kind of wipe the slate. And I get for Rodgers, it's probably the better situation. He's a guy. He's a guy in a greater kind of sphere. With Pittsburgh, I think with the Jets, it would have still been Rodgers' team. There would have been Super Bowl expectations, even if it wasn't fair. And I just think it's best for both to move on. I really wish they hit the full money, dude. I asked at the combine. You were standing next to me, and I got basically spat on him for asking it. I don't know. If the Jets weren't owing Rodgers any money next year, the Fields money that they're likely going to have to eat wouldn't matter. But they're probably going to have to eat both. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, and that's my big issue, right? Boomer Esiason said the other day, hey, whoever gave Fields that contract should be fired. Well, the reality is the head coach gave him that contract. They wanted Justin Fields. They were all in on Fields. And it concerns me that they're taking shots at the Bears and Steelers' previous coaching staff saying Fields has never been coached properly. We're going to let him play quarterback. And Fields has never looked worse than he just did on Sunday. And then Glenn was very arrogant with what he wanted from his quarterback when they moved on from Rodgers. They asked him what you want, and he said, I want a winner. So you hired Justin Fields, who's never won anything, and the only time he won something was when he was 4-2 and still got benched because Mike Tomlin knows more than you, Aaron Glenn. Come on.
Yeah, the word again, this is where Glenn gets himself in trouble. And a lot of coaches early on get themselves in trouble. I think Boone gets himself in trouble with this with the Yankees. I think a lot of these guys, dude, I get coach speak 100%. These guys lie to our faces 24/7. Boone and Cashman did it yesterday. They literally lied straight to our face. Boone said Volpe wasn't affected by a torn labrum, and then Cashman came on 15 minutes later and said it drastically affected him. It's just get your story straight and run with the same narrative the whole time, because that's the reality of what a lot of these guys do, right? These coaches. Glenn just said Garrett Wilson's doubtful. Garrett Wilson doesn't practice. He's not playing Sunday, right? And if he plays, I think we'd all be happy, but he's not playing Sunday. But obviously it's the coach speak. I just feel like you could have described Fields in different ways than being a winner. He hasn't ever won. He got steamrolled in the national championship game, and it's not his fault. That Alabama team would have beaten this current Jets team. Obviously, I'm kidding, but I don't know. The Fields thing is frustrating because it was a worthwhile lottery ticket, Jake, because there was an avenue in which it worked, and it's he built on last year. And look at the success Baker and Darnold specifically have had. Geno's fallen off a cliff, but it's it hasn't worked, and it likely won't work. And it feels like the best chance for them to save their jobs is eventually going to be going to Tyrod. And, you know, how many games is Tyrod going to make it through healthy? I hate.
Would you agree, though, Will, if Tyrod goes or if Fields goes out there in the first quarter and looks inept?
I bet you he gets benched on Sunday if he's looks like dog shit in the second quarter.
He has to. And if Glenn doesn't,
well, you can't lose the locker room, dude. You saw Mengu's reaction. You know, and it's not that, like, also Fields he's not their guy, so it doesn't matter. Like, Solomon,
that's the problem with not benching him in the first place at halftime or at any point in the second half of that game Sunday. You don't owe Fields anything. That's what the money is for. That's why you paid him. It hasn't worked. You're not tied down to him. You need to win a game. Have a feel for your team. Win a football game. I dare you, Aaron Glenn. Win one game, please.
The Zach Wilson thing was different, and I think we all got pissed about it, but it had to reach such a point where the locker room was literally going to revolt if they didn't bench him after that New England game where he
it was the right move.
He looked like Justin Fields, did, and that was obviously a horrific performance, that 10-3 game. So, like, a lot of similar vibes from that one, like two middling teams, like, you know, battling out bigger dog shit. And the issue for me is, like, okay, you gave Fields really long leash, and they've done right by him. No one can say the Jets are, like, screwing Fields over. The Jets have done everything they can to, like, put him in a position where he's the unquestioned starter. He didn't have to compete for his job. He got his college wide receiver. He got a good offensive line, all this different stuff, and it hasn't worked. And it's unfortunate, Jake, and it sucks. But, like, he's just not a starting quarterback right now in the NFL, you know, for maybe more than a period of a couple games. And especially, dude, he doesn't run anymore. I don't know if you know, like, he doesn't run at all. They called the design run for him last week, and he ran right out of bounds. He ran away from contact. And, you know, he doesn't scramble very much. If he can't run, dude, how effective is he, right? Like, he's not a precision passer. He's not a timing guy. He's a guy who can thrive with guys running open, and you can scheme stuff up. But when they scheme stuff up and guys are open, he doesn't throw the football. So, I mean, at this point, like, yes, Tyrod elite. No, dude, Tyrod's fine. But the ball is going to be out. The ball will be out on time sometimes. And, like, he gives guys a chance, and he can operate a 2-minute offense, which the Jets could operate a 2-minute offense. They're 2-4 right now, dude, at a minimum. At a minimum, they're probably 3-3, realistically. The Dallas game, I swear, goes differently if they can punch. They score in that first drive.
It's
right.
Just,
like,
brutal,
all these
man.
games feel like they go to Miami. Like, I don't know. It's frustrating.
Hey, the head coach knew to keep the right returner on the team when every fan knew Xavier Gibson didn't belong on the 53. They win.
If Tyrod's their starter for 6 games, again, this is such a stupid what if. If Tyrod starts 6 games and Kenny's their returner for all 6 games, they're 3-3. Probably, right? Roughly 3-3.
It's on Glenn, man. This was his decision making.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is my biggest thing with coaching, though, above all else, right? And this is where I killed them the most on Sunday. Is it their fault Fields was terrible? No, it's no one's fault Fields left his brain in New York. What I will give them a hard time about, is there guys open? Sure, there's guys open, dude. That's awesome. And, like, your scheme can work. And it's not effective. There's 2 different things, right? Like, it can be, hey, a pitcher, you throw 80% strikes. Cool, dude. Like, you threw strikes. Was it an effective pitch? Was it matching up with what the other team was matching up with? Justin Fields didn't have it, which means as the coach, you have to recognize he doesn't have it and either change your game plan. And if your game plan change doesn't work and he still doesn't have it, you have to yank him. Like, that's just the reality of it. So, like, it's on Glenn not that Glenn Fields played bad. It's on Glenn and Engstrom that they kept bashing their head into a wall, expecting Fields to be a different player than he was the entire game. That's the frustration. Anyone with a pulse could see it, dude. That's where it's, like, annoying. Like, it wasn't like this nuanced conversation of, like, oh, dude, like, the Broncos are moving from cover 6 and then they're like throwing cover 6 shell, then moving into cover 2, and then they're doing this and they're doing this, and, like, there are all these different 10 blocks they're running. Is getting our 7 tech trapped. Like, that's not what it was happening. It was like the quarterback can't see the field. He's not making decisions, and he's not even throwing the football, and it's killing us. And the defense is getting pissed. The offensive line's getting pissed. The receivers are pissed. Figure it out. Just figure it out, man. Please just figure it out.
Couple quick hitters for you, Will.
Yeah.
Curly Norman writes in, and he's in our Jermaine Johnson signed jersey raffle at the end of today's stream for 1. Thank you, Curly. He goes, I know I lean towards the negative side. After the Bills game, I asked if we get a win before the bye week, and Will laughed it off. Will Pa, do you still think that's a silly question?
First
Glenn
of
is
all,
horrific.
I think most people would have laughed it off. Funny story in London, Curly Norman was put up, not by me. Someone said, hey, I know Curly always gets after you in the comments section. He's actually a very nice guy and a really like a good human being. And I was like, I'm sure he is. He's like, he's just a little negative on the comments section. Don't let it get to you. And I was like, no, I'm sure he's a great dude. Yeah, there's a good chance they're 0-8, dude. Like, what's to tell you? Do I think there's a path they're 2-6? Yeah, I do. And I also think there's a path they're 0-8. Like, the Jets are a high variance team right now because they've shown that it's going to take a lot for them to win a football game. They're in 50% of the games they're going to end in the last 30 seconds. And the other 50% right now, they get steamrolled. I don't know which the next two are going to be, right? Like, is it the Cowboys game? Is it the Bills game? Or is it more like, Tampa,
Dude,
Pittsburgh?
0-8 going into the bye, 2 weeks of one and done talk. That is miserable.
Jake, as people who do this for a living, the apathy we're getting close, and that is not fun.
No, it is not.
Not fun
Trust
at all.
me, not good. I'll be breaking down college QBs, having draft guys on during the bye week if they're 0-8 at the bye. Good Lord. Let me also follow up with this, Will. I'm going to read you something Aaron Glenn said that is another example of a head coach who has no clue what he's doing. So this is right from Zach Rosenblatt's Twitter account. In fact, I'm even going to pull the full tweet because it has the full quote here, so no one could say you're taking things out of context. No, this is what an actual NFL head coach just said while trying to defend Justin Fields, who holds onto the ball longer than pretty much everyone in the league, we think, right? Well, not according to Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn on Justin Fields holding onto the ball pointed out that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have a high average time to throw too. Quote, I know that's a huge topic that everyone talks about, but there's a lot that goes into that. When you look at the time he gets the ball out, some of those have been his best games where he holds the ball for 3 seconds or whatnot. That's who he is. I'm not sitting here saying he doesn't need to get the ball out. There's some quick game where the ball has to get out. But there's also an element of we know who that player is.
I'm going to debunk this in 3 seconds. So just
here's the end part. You look at Lamar, his number getting the ball out is higher than Justin's. I think Josh Allen's numbers are higher than Justin's. Everybody tends to see who those guys are and understands that. For some reason, they don't understand Justin. Well, let me say this to Aaron Glenn, who once again is proving he has no idea how to properly evaluate quarterback play and why, if this team's the worst dog shit team in the NFL, he should be one and done. Perhaps, Aaron, it's because Lamar and Josh are MVP quarterbacks, while Justin Fields is barely a functioning one. Will, your thoughts?
So can you go to my Twitter, because I'm on my phone. Go to my Twitter. I posted the graphic yesterday where I had that 5-yard Aaron Rodgers box tweet. I want you to pull it up while we talk about this, because this is going to debunk the entire thing. This is why it's just stupid. I say like Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields throwing a 5-yard box. Just one throws it quickly, the other doesn't. The reason I bring this up, here you go, okay? I want you to find where Lamar is and Josh Allen. Josh Allen's
Lamar
is
top right, and so
and
is
Josh
Allen's top right.
And what's on the left side, Jake? I'm not talking to you like an idiot. I'm like where their A-dot is, right? Lamar Jackson, average depth of target, over 9 yards. Josh Allen was at 8. Justin Fields, 4th worst in the NFL. So he's holding the ball for all that time, an egregiously amount of long time, right? Highest in the NFL. And he also throws it the 4th shortest on his average depth of throw. That's the problem. It's not that he's holding the ball forever. No one would give a shit. The reason people are pissed is he holds the ball forever, and then he throws the ball, he throws checkdowns. It's not like he's pushing the ball down the field. Look at Sam Darnold, Stafford. That top left quadrant's amazing. Obviously, balls out quickly, and you're obviously pushing the ball down the field. Even Daniel Jones, and these guys like that are getting the ball out pretty quickly. Baker, and then the guys that hold on to the ball forever, Allen, May, Hurts, Dart, Caleb, they hold the ball forever, right? Guess what, dude? They're pushing it down the field. And then you look at Justin Fields, he's barely throwing it further than Dylan Gabriel and Aaron Rodgers, who are getting the ball out in like over a second quicker. That's the problem. That's why this is a conversation. Time to throw on its own. Yes, mobile quarterbacks hold the ball longer, Jake. He's 100% right. That's only half the story. The other half of the story is he doesn't push the ball down the field. So holding the ball just to do nothing with it is not effective. Holding the ball to be Lamar and push the ball down the field, that's effective. Josh Allen runs around back there, holds it, Jake, and then he's pushing the ball down the field. That's the problem I have.
And like the thing is, if he's not able to use his legs, he's worse than Zach Wilson as a drop back pocket quarterback. And the Jets knew that Fields was clearly compromised with his legs this past game because they didn't call any plays where he could take off and run, which is more proof that the head coach, based on his comments, based on his actions, he has no feel for how to be a head coach and specifically how to oversee offense, a quarterback. Why am I letting this guy draft and potentially develop the number one pick in the draft? And why should I feel any confidence whatsoever that he's the right guy to handle all that comes with it? Because I got news for you, Will. You and I were Sam Darnold people. They picked the right quarterback, but they failed, Sam, by giving him Todd Bowles for his first coach. And then they doubled down with Adam Gase, who was historically worse. Like, that can't happen with whoever they take number one overall. You can't do it.
No, you can't. I guess I'll finish with this. Look, there's a path in which this is tenable for them to take a quarterback. They've got to show some signs here, man. I don't know if it's like winning a game or two at the end of the year with Brady Cook, and they're like, wow, look, the offense, if it runs properly, if it's Tyrod running the offense properly. But, like, you want to see, like, the scheme work. It's hard to even evaluate the scheme right now because when guys are open, they're not getting the football. They're calling a totally different game. It's like, again, it's really hard to evaluate the offensive line. Dude, like, it's hard to evaluate the receivers, although we think we know most of the receivers aren't very good. It's hard to evaluate Mason Taylor. It's hard to evaluate anything when the quarterback's not only Jake Dizzy not very good, he doesn't throw the ball. Like, that's the problem. It's not like they're even running the wing T offense where it's like, wow, Justin Fields is, looks like he's playing at Georgia Tech. Like, it's 5 carries for 24 yards every week. It's not like this explosive running game that Breece Hall is getting 18 for 101 and a touchdown. Isaiah Davis gets 12 for 48, and then Justin Fields is 10 for 55 and a touchdown. It's like Justin Fields is 5 for 20, Breece Hall is 17 for 52 yards, and Isaiah Davis has 2 carries for 6 yards. Like, that's not effective football. So they gotta either find guys that are going to make them be able to run their scheme properly, which is what we saw with LaFleur, right? Where like Mike White and Josh Johnson and Flacco and everybody else looked good except Zach Wilson. Or if you're going to live and die on the Justin Fields hill, like, there's a good chance you're out of a job next year.
It's truly astonishing, man. Wow. All right, let's get you out of here with something fun. In London, what was the best thing besides the game that happened? Because we know the game sucked.
Ooh, good question. Honestly, like, it sounds cheesy, but the amount of Jets fans that just treated me with like the most unbelievable like hospitality, like it was really cool. People like, hey, like, one guy said he listens to my podcast in his spa, which was objectively funny. But no, generally
calm your freaky down.
The amount of Jets fans there that were just, everyone could not have been nicer, drank an egregious amount of beers. Me and Joe Caparosa were challenged to a beer pong tournament against like a bunch of the people there in London, and the ceilings were really low in one of the places, and me and Joe are both 6'3", 6'4", and we won, and apparently it was a thing of legends watching me and Joe hit jumpers. So no, it was awesome, man. It was a really cool experience, and it was unfortunate they lost, but other than that, pretty damn cool weekend.
Well, hopefully we see a win together on Sunday.
Yeah, this has to be on Sunday.
It'd be nice, man. It would be real nice. My God.
Real nice. Curly, Ghost, and Bill Clinton 69. Have a nice weekend, guys. Make sure you guys go outside, get some fresh air. And we'll talk to you guys on Monday.
Ladies and gentlemen, Will Parkinson, everybody. TOJ Pod, Badlands. Check it out. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We are giving away a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey at the end of the program. And if you enter to win the JJ jersey, you automatically are entered in the raffle for Tuesday. First show, signed Namath helmets, the top prize, signed Corbett football, and another Jermaine Johnson jersey. I think we all like JJ right now. They trade him, I swear to God. I don't think they will, though. Big fella says, FYI, the Aaron Glenn press conference feed went down. LOL. God. Mimosa checks in. Oh, sorry, Mimosa. I missed this question to Will. I'll answer it for you, though. What if Woody guaranteed AG a second year just to look like a dumbass this year, and it can easily be blamed on he's learning on the job? See, I don't think Woody would do that, though. I think Woody was sold on this team being competitive this year. That this team had some talent to be good. I don't think Woody thought they were going to be the worst team in the league. By the way, the Lions weren't even the worst team in the league in 2021. Remember, the Lions were the second worst team in the league. Jacksonville had the first pick that year. They took Walker. Then the Lions took Hutchinson. Yeah, that was that year. Jets took Sauce because Houston took Stingley. That was that year. And here's the thing when we compare the Lions to the Jets, right? It's so disingenuous. I think the Lions had one Pro Bowl player besides Goff on their team in 2021. The Jets have 3 former first-team All-Pros on their defense alone. And they have Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall on offense. And they have 2 top 11 picks at tackle and a legit top 15 guard in Tippmann. Like, it's not the same thing. No matter how many times Glenn wants to go back to that, because that's all he could really say, it's not the same thing. I hope it's a similar result. I hope he turns it around. But if the only thing you could point to is, oh, the Lions, this, that, like, come on. Spencer Green in the raffle for 2 with the super chat. He goes, Jake, start the draft music. With the first pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets have traded the pick to Hogwarts. In return, the Jets get pick 2, Butterbeer, and that big bastard beast. Great trade. I'm curious how many days in a row Spencer Green will send a very similar super chat in all caps. Is he on a Cal Ripken-like streak? Barney checks in with a super chat. He joins the raffle for 2. I'm a Jets fan for life, but for the rest of the year, I'm going to watch the Dart and Scad show. The Giants are fun, and I don't care if they lose. Jets are still my favorite team except for the football. What does this mean? Like, if the Jets and Giants are playing at the same time, you're not going to watch the Jets? You're a fraud fan if that's your take. Now, the Giants play at 4 on Sunday, and the Jets are at 1, so you could watch both if you wanted to. I don't know what this means, Barney. I do know that if you're choosing to watch the Giants over the Jets, I'm calling you a fraud. But I do appreciate the super chat, and you are in the raffle for 2. Curly Norman, we read his super chat to Will, so we're caught up there. Read Tyrone's. Just want to make sure we didn't miss anything. Joe the Jet says, AG's in love with Fields. It makes no sense. Guys, this answer is pathetic. Everyone tends to see those guys and understands that. For some reason, they don't understand Justin. If you're trying to compare Lamar and Josh Allen holding on to the ball to Justin Fields, once again, this coach is further proving my point. He doesn't understand quarterbacks or offense and should not be allowed to oversee the development of the number 1 pick in the draft. Like, stop. If Glenn seriously believes this, he's incompetent. And obviously, if he doesn't actually believe this, he's just gaslighting us and he makes himself look worse. I get it. You want to defend your quarterback. Why do you need to take it to such extreme lengths? To Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, they won MVPs, Aaron Glenn. Justin Fields can't win anything. Come on, man. And this is not to, like, shit on Justin Fields. Like, I didn't think he was the guy when they signed him. I said it at the time. I understood the thought process. I don't understand the stubbornness to be so loyal to him when you have a game that is won if you go to Tyrod Taylor, who has seen it all and, most importantly, can complete an 8-yard pass. You have a win right now. Then you could go back to Fields this week, and I'd be advocating for that. I'm going to the game Sunday. I'd say start Fields. Let's see how he responds. But he was so afraid to pull Fields, and maybe it's not because he was afraid of losing Fields. Maybe because deep down he somehow in his like delusion actually thinks Fields is like on the level of Lamar and Josh Allen with those comments there. Maybe that's what it is. Everyone's saying, "Oh, Glenn didn't want to lose Fields," and we're like, "Why is he so loyal to Fields? Who cares? It's a bridge QB. Do what's in the best interest of winning games." Well, maybe we have it all wrong. Maybe this head coach actually believes Fields is on the same level as Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. God, man, this team never makes it easy on themselves in any aspect, of their team. Holy hell, dude. What a dumb comment. Fiore checks in. AG loves Fields. I also think he's stubborn, which is why he defends him and probably won't bench him. He chose him and wants to prove he's right. Well, he could prove he's right. And when he's wrong, which he will be, because Justin Fields is who he is, someone tells you who they are, believe them. Aaron Glenn is risking his job for it. Not smart. Coach James in the house. He came in with his ego leading him, and he couldn't back it up. Now he looks horrible. He set us up to at least think we'll win 7 to 8 games. Worried if we win 3 or 4. 50 years as a Jet fan. Sad. Brutal. I feel you, Coach James. Thanks for supporting my show, man. We're all in this together, Jet fans, as maniacs. AG might actually think Fields is a franchise QB. I think he does. That was what we talked about in the offseason. I said, I think he's trying to build him up, but I think there's some genuine belief that they have their guy. I said that. I said it then. This is not revisionist history. I talked about this exact thing. I think they thought they had their guy. It backs it up, too. They didn't consider drafting a quarterback at any point. I think they looked at Fields and felt like he's the guy. And they paid him way more than anyone was going to pay him, so they can guarantee they can get him. I mean, Glenn took shots at Tomlin and took shots at Fields' coaches in Chicago. Eberflus and that staff, right? Remember where I got to find it. I have all this stuff saved, but it's hard to just pull it up on the spot. Glenn, when talking about Fields in the offseason, he said that he's never been coached properly. And we're going to coach him up. And he said, quote, we're going to allow him to play quarterback. What do you think that means? Like, I know what that means. To me, it means you don't think he's been in a good spot coaching-wise, and we're going to change that. And the coaching is worse. At least it was in Denver. That game was awful, especially if you knew he was limited with his legs. If you know that, then how are you allowing him to finish the game? It would have been a very easy excuse to say, hey, he's banged up. We're making the change. He's still our starter. We couldn't run our full offense, but we didn't want to put him in a spot where he was a sitting duck back there. It would have been the easiest thing to cover up post-game and say, we took him out because he's actually banged up, and it's not because of performance. He's banged up, and it's affecting his performance. You could have spun it that way, and we all would have been like, that makes sense. That's good coaching, understanding that while you like the player, you know it's limited with what you could do with him, but what you can do with him when he's healthy is special, and that's why we believe in him. I would get that. That would make sense to me. That would show me you have a pulse of your team. You have a clue on how to manage offense and quarterback. This year is lost. That we know. I'm all about, are we going to fuck up the number 1 pick in the draft now or the top 3 pick in the draft because they're going to win 2 of their final 3 games like they always do? That's where my focus is at right now. This season's cooked. It's a matter of what happens to the trade deadline. How does it look the rest of the way? I'm focused on the future. And Glenn should not be a part of the future if his answers remain like that. And then we see on the field incompetency, which I've seen for a lot of these games this year. Barney checks in. Dude, I'm pushing 60. It's literally bad for my health. I scream at the TV and scare the neighbors. I'll watch the replays. Have a heart. Look, I can't tell you how to fan, man, but if you're going to tell me that you're going to start watching the Giants over the Jets, I think you're a phony. I do. Now, I have 3 TVs in my living room. I have the Giants on one, the Jets on the other, and Red Zone on the third. That's always what I do when they play at the same time now because both franchises have sucked. Remember, they used to always play at either 1 and 4? Well, now the NFL's like, we don't need the New York markets. Who cares? We're an international sport. Everyone watches football. See, the difference with the NFL and other sports is if I tell you the Brewers are playing the Pirates, you'll say, who cares? If I tell you that the Steelers are playing the Packers, you're like, holy hell, let's go. It's a great game. Lou writes in, hey, Jake, props to you for not being garbage as usual. You're right about the Jets for once. Hey, Lou, I really appreciate your comment. Not. Hey, Lou, see ya. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. Thank you very much. Eli Betts checking in. He's in the raffle for 2. Not sure if you touched on this, but Hackey got canned after 15 games his first season. What's stopping Woody from doing the same? Ego. I'm not saying Woody couldn't do it. I mean, if it's that bad, maybe. But I people are like, oh, is Woody going to want to spend money? Folks, I just looked it up. Woody Johnson just spent $254 million to buy a 43% stake in Crystal Palace, which is a Premier League soccer club in London. That was this summer. Aaron Glenn, I was told from people I trust, is making around $10 to $12 million. Signed a 5-year deal. So let's assume it's $11 million, right? We'll split the difference from what I've heard. So if Glenn's making $11 million, we'll times that by 4 because it's all guaranteed. That's $44 million he'd have to eat plus his staff. Let's say his staff, Muji, front office. Let's just say, I don't know if this is true because I don't know that this stuff is not public and I'm not going to say information I haven't sourced or spoke to people who would know. So I'll just, for the sake of this conversation, let's say it's $20 million. $64 million. He just gave Justin Fields $30 million guaranteed. Doesn't count against the cap. I don't think it's about money with Woody. I think it's ego. He wanted Glenn. Like this was his guy, right? He would tell people behind closed doors, Saleh, Douglas, they weren't his hires. Douglas hired Saleh. His brother hired Douglas. His brother also hired Gase. Or that kind of got us on this path. Last time Woody hired a coach and GM was a decade ago in 2015 with Bowles and McCagnon. So I believe when it comes to the decision at the end of the year, if this doesn't turn around, I don't think it's about money. I think it's about ego. And can you admit a mistake? And look, I'll tell you what. If no one renews their season tickets, that speaks volumes. And I've heard from people that the Jets have been getting a lot of those emails that we read yesterday from that great season ticket holder, Brian in Martinsville. We read his letter to his ticket rep on the show yesterday. I've heard that Brian's not alone with what he has said. Mickey with a super chat. He's in for 2. This is why Glenn doesn't play Pritchett. He doesn't want to look bad for starting the season with Gibson, so would rather start Isaiah Williams off the street. He wants to be right, not do right. Or he's just bad at evaluating talent, which is supposed to be one of his strengths. So that could be the thing too. Either way, it's not good, Mickey. Fortunately, I hate to be this negative. I really, it's funny. We get new listeners all the time. People are like, this guy is so negative. Anyone in the chat, please, anyone who's been watching my show for longer than a year, remind people who's been more positive than most about this team the last couple of years. But I can't fake it. I got to be honest. Like, I got tweets from people, this guy, all he does is be negative. What is there to be positive about? They don't have a win. They're the only team in the league without a win. Brutal. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe this guy could be positive. He flew in from Los Angeles to attend this game Sunday. Rick Ken is on the line. Hello, Rick.
Hey, Jake. I haven't flown in yet. I'm still at the airport in LA, but I'm leaving in about an hour. Just wanted to say, hey, I'm on my way. And people who think I'm stupid for flying across the country, they can. Well, I don't want to say what I'm thinking because I don't want you to play that language warning on me. But I'm looking forward to having a good time, man. I'm going to meet a lot of people for the first time, see a lot of friends that I already know, all my IRLs, and I'm just looking for a good time. Now, you gave me a hard time when I went to Tampa that I didn't wear any Jets gear in the airport, so I'm wearing some as Maniac gear today. So
even better.
Hopefully,
that's a real team that
that'll
can be proud
placate you. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to wear Jets gear because people still make fun of me. So I'm wearing something that people don't know, general public doesn't know about, unless some closet as Maniac comes up to me.
Oh, no, we lost you, Rick, with your internet connection. We could call, my friend. Have a great flight, safe flight, and looking forward to tailgating with you and watching the game on Sunday. Oh, man. That's brutal. Connie in the house, the great Connie Carberg. I must have missed this. I was away getting caught up. Do they say Fields' legs were hurt? That's the problem with these mobile QBs. They don't read defenses or excel in the pocket. Fields said that he suffered a light contusion against Miami, and his legs had not been feeling very good the last 2 games. He says he feels better this week, and thank God, because for them to have any shot without Garrett Wilson, Justin Fields is going to have to make plays with his legs. I mean, they got to make they got to make plays. So I hope that Fields is healthy and is capable of putting together a good game. More of your calls, ladies and gentlemen. Jaden is on the line. Hello, Jaden. Jaden never calls in. He only calls into the Bobby Midnight Show. What's up, Jaden?
Yeah, I'm a Bobby Midnight mainstay. Not much on the way to Jersey right now. Getting ready for the As Maniac Shiner tailgate.
Are we going to win Sunday, Jaden?
I don't think so, but there's always a chance, I suppose.
There is always a chance. They did win last year against the Texans when we did our group outing.
Yeah, and I am 1-0 at home, so hopefully I got that luck.
I love it. Well, hopefully you being there and manifest a win because we could use it.
Yeah, looking forward to meeting you.
You got it, Jaden. Looking
As
forward
well.
to it, man. Safe drive to Jersey. Appreciate the call. Some more super chats here. Oh, God. Spencer Green at it again. He's relentless with these. All caps. He writes in the following statement. He says, breaking news on Jake Asman. The Jets have waived Sauce, Brees, and Quinnen. We signed Little Joey, Beast, and the fake guitar. Great deal. Beast, get your bastard ass up and help the team stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, Spencer Green spending copious amounts of cash to write utter nonsense, and that we love. He's in the raffle for 2. And speak of the devil, the farting attic monster is on the line.
We just got done with work. I made $30. Now we're heading back.
What was work?
Had to go cut grass. Now,
So
it looks like it's gonna be the last time because we're going to have a winter this year that you would never seen before. Hang on to your hat, hang on to your pants, hang on to your boots. We're in for a long winter. Hang on tight. Get ready. Be ready. Knicks, Jets, we're ready. And get ready for some Islanders and some Rangers hockey. We're coming your way. Live. Take it to the bank, Jack.
Hey, Spencer Green writes in, Beast, the bus has a weight limit, you big bastard.
Fuck him, he's fake.
Whoa.
Fuck him, he's fake.
Whoa.
He's fake. He's just a little
Beast,
girl with little panties on.
who's paying you to cut grass?
My boys. See, I have connections, my friend.
You have
You gotta remember
connections to
something.
cut other people's grass?
That's right. See, you gotta remember, you're not 5 steps ahead and you're not ready. You're not prepared.
Okay.
You gotta remember that. Stay ahead of the game. Stay ahead of the game.
So were you offered this opportunity to cut someone's grass for $30? How did that come about?
Hey, I get connections through Facebook, Instagram, and many other ways. See, I got my way of doing things. It's called business. Learn to do the basics. If you don't learn these things,
Who's on the bus with you, Beast?
No, boy, I'm right now going towards the airport right now. I'm right now on my way back to the studios, and I got a free pizza.
Are you?
I got a free pizza out of it.
We'll talk about that next. Are you the only person on this bus?
Hey, I feel good. What's everybody got to complain about? It's
Who
Friday.
else is on the bus? Are you alone?
What does it look like to you?
I don't know. I can only see your blubber. I can't see the rest of the bus.
You know what you just did? You just basically sold the ticket down the toilet. See ya.
I don't know who else is on the bus. We just see your face.
Right. And you just gave me an insult. See ya.
That's how the call works. It's on your face. All right, Beast. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Big fella writes in, this is public transportation, folks. You imagine running into Beast on your bus? Our future mayor wants to make bus rides free for people like Beast. I'm not political. I'm done. I had to get one zigger off. Party with Peg and Artie. Spencer has taken over the Discord. Top writer, knocking Kyle off the perch. J-Quest poll said so. Dude, Spencer dominates the super chats, and he does dominate the Discord discourse. What else we have here? I think we're caught up. Beautiful. More of your calls. Black Gypsy's next today. Hello, Black Gypsy.
Yeah, you said it correctly, Jake. Like, Glenn believes that what's his name is a fucking franchise quarterback because you got him, you got Angstran, and what really infuriated me yesterday is watching Flacco run the fucking option. That really, 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 really pissed me off. So like this week, if it's his career on the line, if he doesn't run the option this week, or if not, then take him out. I've had enough. I'm not a Fields person to begin with. Like I bought in because Glenn was like, "We're gonna do something." So I'm like, I'm gonna go with some faith because when I was talking, you were like, "Give him a chance," and I was like, I'm not giving him a chance no more. He gets 1 quarter from me, and if it's not good, I'm burning his jersey. That or I'm ripping his name off his jersey and putting Black Gypsy on the back because I'm done. I am fucking done with that shit, bro. The offensive calls, if you knew he was hurt, right? Like, why was he playing? That's my first option. If something was wrong with his legs and he can only run and can't pass, why did you put him in the game? Why not pull him from the game at any point? It makes him look bad in every single way. I have no faith in Glenn. Like zero faith in Glenn.
He shouldn't. He's got to earn it back. I mean, he should. No one should have. If you have faith in Aaron Glenn right now, it's because you're just have blind faith, like because you're a Jet fan and you'll never, you'll never root against the Jets or never be negative in your opinions about the Jets. But if you have any faith in this head coach right now, I don't know how you could, because there's no reason, there's nothing you could point to that gives you any confidence other than, oh, the Lions sucked too a few years ago and he happened to be around for that. Great. Adam Gase was around Peyton Manning. Did it matter? Like, come on, man.
We're not the Lions, bro. We have a way better team than the Lions. Which makes them worse to me because you have a better team than the Lions did when they were losing all those games, and you're still losing. And Dan Campbell made his mistakes, but Dan Campbell will come up and pour his heart out on his pressers. So, like, even if you thought he was stupid, you felt for him. Like, Glenn is just a dick, and you can't be a dick and lose. Like, you can't be a fat chick and be mean, basically. Like, you have to be nice, bro. You have to be nice. Like, you have to come up and tell us something that we believe. Like, you said it correctly. You should have said, like, yo, he's not feeling good. His legs are messed up. We pulled him. We're not playing him because there's what's the name in the game so we can win a game and keep it moving. But not doing any of that. And then having it, like, that comment that he made about Allen and Lamar, like, don't mention Fields with those two players ever. Don't put those three names in your mouth at the same time unless you want to get punched in the mouth. Like, why would you do that? Like, those guys are good. Those guys have put themselves in an echelon. Fields has never been good, ever. Like, he's been a good runner. He's never been a good quarterback. So to put him in the same boat means you can't. He's not good at picking his players. He's not good at player personnel because you pick this guy and then you pick him. And what just pisses me off, even more than the defense, is that you don't plan a game for him. It's the thing that made me mad with LaFleur. LaFleur didn't plan his game for Zach. Zach could run also, but he wouldn't let him have him running. But now we have Angstran and you have Fields, and he's not running. If he's not running, we can't play him. Like, that's all he's good for. Like, it's bad. It's all bad. I don't want to see that shit. I'm giving him 1 quarter, and after that game is over, I calling in just to light his jersey on fire. Like, it's going up in flames, bro. Like, I'm sorry that you had to waste money, and I mean, it is what it is. But I'm burning that jersey because I'm over it. I'm over losing. I'm over losing the way we lose. Like, we can lose games and be close and be competitive. And I'd be like, it's not bad. It's a first-year coach. But the way we're losing, epically bad. I've never seen something this bad in the NFL before. Product that he's put out is not good sale. It's shit. That's all I got. Just wanted to gasp it off.
It sounds like you're very positive about this team right now.
The only positive I do have for this week is for the players. All the guys that didn't get to play because Wilson was the primary receiver. Now we get to see if Reynolds or Smith can actually catch a pass and do something, and we might use Mason correctly. But that's the only positive we can look forward to. Like, name a positive for me at this part of the season for this game coming up.
You ready?
Yeah.
11 games left.
All right. Awesome.
I mean, 11 more games, baby. Who's got it better than us? Post-game show, by the way, will be probably 2 hours after the game. It's because I am going to the game, and then, unless this is just an absolute debacle where I don't want to be seen around anybody, we will be going on the MetLife field afterwards for a group photo. So, if you want my thoughts on the game, they'll be a little delayed. But we will have a post-game show. It's funny, as I was thinking about it, what time the post-game show is going to start, and it's probably going to be about 2 hours after the game goes final. It brought me back to a very famous moment in Jet YouTube history.
So we're going to get into all of it here. Again, my name is Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. We come 2 hours after every final whistle here for the post-game show. And I'm going to be honest, the only good thing that happened to me late tonight, early this morning, was making sweet, passionate love to my fiance, which I did. after the article was written and that kind of stuff. That's the only good thing that happened. Not great. Terrible.
All right. What a moment. What a moment. Comments, questions, super chats. You guys know the drill. They cut the line. Spencer Green writes in, I am him. Who are you? Not me, because I am me. This was just sent to me. Apparently, Beast has a shirt that pays homage to Spencer. Daddy Spence, Beast refers to him as. David D checks in. Jake, time will tell how things turn out for the Jets with Aaron Glenn as their head coach. But one thing in particular I was wrong about is thinking Aaron Glenn would be better equipped to handle the New York media from his playing days with the Jets. I've been very surprised about this as well. I thought a guy who was in this market and worked for the team as a scout for a couple of years would understand the fans more than to give us the cookie cutter, cliche, coach speak, quote Robert Saleh. Be so divisive or not divisive, be so defensive. I thought he'd handle it better. I would. I don't think that's the reason why this team's 0-6. So, like, his media press conferences are on, they're on the lower list of my issues with him, right? My criticisms are mainly his on-field decision-making or lack thereof. And him having the arrogance and the hubris with some of his decisions in the offseason, some of his comments he made about what they were going to do. But, I mean, it's a problem because he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt from anybody. The media is going to turn on him the second they can. It's bad. It's all bad. Maybe they surprise us, though, and somehow win a game. I don't know. More of your calls right now. We got some heavy hitters on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to the great Kyle Clifton.
What's going on, Jake?
That new hoodie, that looks nice.
It's not new, but I don't think I've worn it on the show before. I think Connor was wearing the same one on his. It's very comfortable. It's like fleecy on the inside. It's nice.
Nice.
I was on Boy Green's show this morning, as a matter of fact, telling him that there was no rush to get married. So I'm probably in the crosshairs of his fiance. So, yeah, I had some work to do to get ready for Sunday. I got to find my Mason Taylor jersey. I regret to inform you that I might not be making the photo on the field, although I'd love to be able to go on the field with my contingent because we have a car coming to get us, so I don't really know how that's going to work out. We'll see.
Ooh, very nice. You got the email with the waiver form, though, right?
I don't know if I did. If I did, I didn't see it. But
well, check your email because whatever you use to buy the tickets, that's where it was sent to. And then if you don't have it, check the Discord. It's there too.
Okay. So my whole thing with going back and looking at Rodgers, I don't think that's healthy for you or for us as a fan base. I'm with you in the thought that he was always going to have a new coach. The criticism comes in is if you really like Dart, as the Jets were rumored to, then you have to find a way to go up and get him as well as Mendu, right? So I don't know if they tried to do that, or maybe the answer is you trade back, you get more capital, you're taking another position of need and Dart later in the draft. But I would say that this was not a great draft for quarterbacks, although most people that I've talked to and based on what I've seen so far, Dart has a lot of promise. So I didn't fault them at the time for waiting to this year because it looked like it would be a deeper class. And it still might work out. But I mean, I don't think it could possibly work out from what we've seen so far with this coaching staff. So, like, I like the fact that the defenses made a little progress this week, and we made a little progress with the penalties. We've got to see marked improvement with the offense, even if Fields is the trigger man and he's not the guy. To have confidence that Glenn is going to be the coach on the go forward, because as of right now, with that debacle at halftime last week and not opting for the field goal, like at least give yourself a chance to win. And he didn't do that, and it feels like it's happening a lot. I don't know. It's something where, I think that if we're sitting here in 3 or 4 games, 5 games, and there's only 1 win in our pocket, or 0 wins, it's going to be fait accompli that Glenn is out the door. And it's a shame, because I think we've liked some of the things that Muji has done so far with some of these trades. Some of his middle round picks had a good week last week, but let's see some progress from this offense. We've got to see the offense progress, even with Garrett out of the lineup. Try something different. Try heavy packages. Do something. I was very heartened to see the fake punt last week. I was not so heartened to see that it was so goddamn obvious. So, let's see if we can find improvement. Show that Glenn can be serviceable. I have no confidence in it. Zero, zilch. I think that we're probably going back into, and I don't know if you saw, Rosenblatt had an article today that he doesn't think that Woody's going to go back out and hire a new coach because of a couple of different factors. Maybe the fact that he spent $250 million on a big piece of a soccer team means he's cash poor right now. I don't know what that means, because I'm not privy to Woody's finances. All I know is that this guy cannot be the coach if we have 3 wins or less this year. I appreciate your time, Jake.
I completely agree with that, Kyle. And look, I don't know if it means he has less cash because he spent all that, or it means he has a lot of cash. I also know if he ever wanted more cash, the NFL has a rule now where owners are allowed to sell away pieces of their franchise. The Giants are selling, I think, 15 or 20%. Eli Manning and Michael Strahan at separate groups trying to buy a piece. So if Woody needed some cash, he could sell 20% of the Jets and get a gazillion right there. Or, you know what, if Woody's thinking about selling any part of the Jets, just sell the whole team and please leave. That'd be nice. But we're operating in the realistic realm. It's easy to say, Woody, sell the team. He's not going to. Although, I'll tell you what, if the Jets play like crap in this game, there'll be sell the team chance on Sunday. Why wouldn't there be? I don't know if we're going to get fire Glenn chance already, but we'll get sell the team chance for sure. Omar Singleton in the raffle for 5. You tuned in late. A signed Jermaine Johnson jersey is up for grabs today. A little Football Friday. So we increase the magnitude of the giveaways. This one is from Omar. He says, we all love the Jets. We all hate the Jets. We don't love to hate the Jets, but we hate to love the Jets. Yes. I think. Yeah. The problem is we hate rooting for this team because we love the team so much. That's why it hurts us that they've been bad for so long. We care about it so much. That's why this fan base is great. No other fan base would be this loyal. And no other fan base, I'd argue, in professional sports gets a worse ROI than the Jet fan. Return on investment. No fan base has a worse ROI than the Jet fan. You hope one day it will all be worth it because we get to see some winning. But I don't know, man. It's been 15 years without even a playoff season, 10 years without a winning season. It's hard to imagine. Nick Shine in the house. He sends in a super chat. He says he has the same exact sweatshirt that Kyle Clifton had. He says it's warm. Common Country in the house. Let me tell you, Common Country is a party animal. I'm not speaking from any firsthand experience. I'm just telling you. Fire Glenn after the season. Hire Cliff Kingsbury before drafting the rookie quarterback. He should be a candidate. Cliff's on my short list of candidates. previous head coaching experience, has taken a team to the playoffs, has developed multiple young QBs, Jaden Daniels being the most recent example. Obviously, Kyler, we could debate how good he is, but he oversaw that. He went to the playoffs with him. He wasn't a total failure. He's a guy that I think if you gave him a second chance, I would understand it. Mike McCarthy definitely is on my short list. The guy wins games. He's a program builder. He's a leader. Other names that I think they'd consider, I prefer an offensive guy, but it has to be someone to me with experience. So Brian Flores would be on my list again. I'd speak with him again. Other offensive guys, if the Browns were to fire Kevin Stefanski, he might be my number one. I'm going to put Harbaugh on my list, but I don't think the Ravens will end up firing him, but they could. I know there's a lot of talk in Baltimore about that. And maybe it's just time to move on. Fresh voice. He's the longest tenured coach in the league besides Tomlin at this point. Like, maybe it's time. That's the thought process from the Raven fan. I don't know how the owner thinks about it. And things change, right? The Steelers just lost last night. All of a sudden, what if the Ravens can rally together? Some wins here. We know they're going to beat the Jets. So, I don't know. Spencer Green says, in all seriousness, I super chat to give back, not doing it to flex or anything. The show keeps me sane, and I will always do my part and show love the things that keep me going. Appreciate all. We love you, Spencer. And I love reading your super chats. They're highly entertaining. All right. So we read you the Glenn quote where he compared Fields holding onto the ball to Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I haven't heard it because I've been doing the show, but I did, as I was just talking there, download it and pull it so we could play it. So let's see if the quote, which reads awful, sounds as bad as we listen to it all together from Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. At this point in the season, to work on that and really get it out and make it fast, that process.
I know that's a huge topic that everyone talks about, but sometimes there's a lot that goes into that. And when you look at the time he gets the ball out, some of those have been some of his best games when he's holding the ball, 3 seconds or whatnot. And it's who he is, and sometimes it's play calls and the way that he sees things. So, and I'm not sitting here saying that he doesn't get the ball out. There's some quick game, where the ball has to come out, and you work on those in practice. But there's also an element of, then we know who that player is. You look at Lamar. I think Lamar, his numbers getting the ball out is higher than Justin's. I think Josh Allen's numbers are higher than Justin's. But I think everybody tends to see who those guys are and understand that. And for some reason, they don't understand Justin. But listen, I'm not sitting there saying that there's some times where he got to get the ball out. He knows that. He articulated that to you guys, and we're going to continue to work on that as much as we can.
Am I supposed to yell and scream again? I guess that's what you guys are expecting. I don't have it in me. He's lost. He's lost. He is completely inept. And barring a turnaround, which I don't know how anyone thinks is going to happen, he's got to go. Great Jet. Thank you for wanting this job, but you're unqualified to continue to have the job. That's laughable. Head coach doesn't understand why we don't talk about Lamar and Josh Allen's time to throw the same way we criticize Justin's. I don't know. Can't seem to figure it out either. Obviously, those three quarterbacks are very similar in their play, production, win-loss record, accolades. Justin Fields is 14-35 in his career. Josh Allen is a 3-time Pro Bowler, 1-time MVP, and 80-36 in his career. Lamar Jackson is a 2-time MVP, a 4-time Pro Bowler, and 71-27 in his career. So might have something to do with that, Aaron, why we don't talk about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson the same way we do Justin Fields. Also, might have something to do with the fact that, as Will Parkinson brought up during his appearance on the show today, look where Justin Fields is on this chart here. This is average depth of target and time to throw through week 6. Justin Fields, bottom right, means he holds on to the ball longer than any quarterback in the league. So Glenn is wrong in saying, I think Allen and Lamar hold on to the ball longer than... No, they don't. But I'm looking at where Josh Allen and Lamar is. You see the left side there, ADOT, average depth of target. That means, okay, if they're holding onto the ball, are they then staying in the pocket because they're setting up a big play downfield? No, Justin Fields got sacked 9 times against the Denver Broncos defense on Sunday. And here's more stats for you, Aaron Glenn, because I'm just trying to help you figure some things out. Obviously, you're struggling right now, and I'm a Jet fan first and foremost and want you to understand the answers to some of your questions that you asked. Right? We're just trying to be as fair as we can here. This was Justin Fields and some stats here that he is holding onto the ball, though it's not loading. So, Aaron, I might not be able to help you here. But to be honest, I don't know if anything I say you'll listen, because everything I wanted you guys to do the last year, you've done the total opposite. So what do I know? You guys are just the only team in the NFL without a win. You know, we have Josh Reynolds as our number 1 receiver on Sunday because you guys didn't want to add any other competent player to that room. What do I know? It's not loading, but basically, of Fields' 9 sacks, only one of them happened in less than 2 point something, which is like less than the average time to throw in the league. Meaning the O-line, for the most part, were they perfect? No, but Denver's really, really good. They're not going to be perfect against that front. But they gave Fields time, and he couldn't do anything with it. That happened. There were guys open. You think someone should ask Aaron Glenn if Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson throw this ball on time to Garrett Wilson and don't throw it behind him and late, so he has to go to the hospital for an MRI and have a knee sprain that's going to keep him out now for at least 2 games in all likelihood. You think Josh Allen throws this pass to Mason Taylor? You think Lamar throws this to Mason Taylor? Looking right at him, 3rd and 5. I don't know. Something tells me they do, but what do I know? I'm just a talk show host. Steven says Rodgers' teammate almost tore his Achilles. Yeah, you see Broderick Jones jump on Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers was red hot, that clip making the rounds, and he should have been. You have a 300-pound offensive lineman jumping on your back when you're not expecting it. You imagine that's how Rodgers got hurt this year? Honestly, you wouldn't expect that from Pittsburgh. That'd be a Jet thing. Crazy. Crazy. What a world we live in. Spencer Green in the raffle again with the Super Chat. Breaking news, last of the Asman Show. 1, Jake loves AG. 2, the Jets have traded their 7th-round pick. And $5, the Beast in the studio. In return, the Jets get little Joey. Joey will be the mascot. LFG. I want to like Aaron Glenn. I'm just not going to blindly support incompetency. I'm tired of it, man. How many years in a row do we got to be told to be patient? Oh, coach learning on the job. He's not learning on the job if he's not capable of doing the job, right? There's sometimes you got to learn on the job. I get that. Did you hear me criticize Aaron Glenn for the poor clock management week 1 when they burnt the timeout before the 2-minute? When they took a timeout rather than a delay a game in that one in the second half of the game? No. I'm going to always be fair. He looks in over his head, and these answers prove he's in over his head. He's questioning why the media, aka the fans, don't talk about how Lamar and Josh Allen hold on to the ball for a while also. Come on, man. Does he actually think Justin Fields is good? Because if he does, more proof that he should not be evaluating the quarterbacks coming out this year. Joke. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been waiting a while. Who knows how many points he's going to make? Neil is up next.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burn his house to the ground.
Good morning, everybody. Hello, Jake.
Well, it's the afternoon now, Neil. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I have a new shirt I want. It's 40 is the new 30. Boy, I watched that game last night. Rodgers and Flacco turned the clock back.
They were both so good. It was crazy.
Oh my! I can't believe Flacco ran for more yards than Justin Fields at run pass option. Oh my God! Jamar Chase, 14 receptions in one game.
I think it was 16, was it not?
I think it was 14. I looked at the box. 14 receptions, and he dropped 2 or 3 passes. When he drops a pass, Flacco's like, "Oh my God, he dropped one." Oh, I thought he was throwing the game for a while. That he
16.
dropped a couple. 16 receptions.
Yeah. Crazy.
They had more offense yesterday than I think we had in the last 4 games, both teams. And then
we want to hear a crazy stat about Flacco. He's thrown more touchdowns in 10 days since joining the Browns or since joining the Bengals than he did in 4 starts with Cleveland.
Jesus Christ. But let's just say, so the game's going back and forth. But the crazy thing is, with 7 seconds left, Rodgers throws a 5-yard out and a 65-yard Hail Mary, and it could have been caught. He had the right guys back there, and he reached the end zone. But what makes me laugh, Jake, is I remember last year saying your famous line was, "If Rodgers could stay healthy, if Rodgers could stay healthy." Well, guess what? He's the only quarterback in the division that's not injured right now.
Correct.
And
That's
the guy looks like he's 35 years old out there avoiding pass rushes and throwing passes. He doesn't look very unhealthy to me. I think he's the only guy I think he's on the Brady plan. I think he's got Brady's nutritionists and everything working with him. But I don't want to talk about it. Was a very entertaining game. Great to watch 2 old guys, and it makes me feel good that old guys still are really performing in this league. And it goes to show you 40's the new 30. That's all I got with that. Now, as far as what I want to see Sunday,
a forward pass completed, because unlike Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields struggles with that.
Yeah. Well, one thing that Pittsburgh did, their second receiver was out yesterday, Austin, right? So they loaded up their offense with 3 tight ends almost on every play, and Freiermuth had an amazing game.
All 3 of their tight ends caught touchdowns.
Okay, well, guess what? We have 3 tight ends. We have a tight end room. We got the guy from the Colts, which I've never seen. We talked about how great he was looking in film, right? Who's that guy's name again? The tight end we got from the Colts. We have on our squad now. We haven't seen him, but we forgot about his name already. You know what I'm talking about, right?
You're talking about Jelani Woods. You're talking about Stone Smart. And
Stone Smart, Jelani Woods. We have 4 very capable. We have 5 tight ends if you take the running back, the fullback into consideration.
They should utilize those guys, especially Stone Smart. He's more of a big receiver anyway. Give him a chance. It can't be worse.
Utilize them. They should be all on the field at the same time. Forget about receivers, because Justin Field doesn't throw to receivers. Let him put 5 tight ends. Let 3 of them come into block. Let's run the ball behind the tight ends. Let them block and let them go out for little tiny passes that, dib and dab. And I want to see a creative offense that is going to utilize our tight ends since we have no receivers. And let's go with it and take a shot. If we don't do that, if we don't have Stone Smart in the game at some point, or Jelani Woods, or we're not utilizing the other fullback to at least block and have 2, a fullback and a running back behind Brees, that's a guarantee that you really want to see. The other thing I saw yesterday that we never do is on short yardage, Flacco is running there behind the line, right? And, Flacco can't run to save his life, right? But what happened when he went to do a thing? The running back came from behind him and pushed him like a tush push. That's what we didn't do. That's the easiest way for Justin Fields to get a first down, is just to have Braylon Allen, when he was playing, a 240-pound guy behind him, and just push him across for an extra yard, because you're going to get an extra yard. But we don't think of those things. We don't think of utilizing tight ends.
we don't think if we're going to have the same bullshit out there, I don't want to see more receivers that are subpar. I want to see tight ends because we have to run the ball like we're Navy.
You coming to the game Sunday, Neil? You want to buy Big Cho's ticket?
Oh, please. If I was on the bench, maybe. If I had a clipboard and a headset, maybe I'd come to the game. If
Big Cho's got a ticket he's trying to sell, man.
I know. Good luck to that. You know, Coaches Club seats are going for $100 and you get a free buffet. I don't want to talk about the game. Going to the game.
How about $105 and you get to sit next to Big Cho though?
Yeah, I listen. I love to. I hope you guys have a great time. I'm sure it's going to be a great tailgate with Tailgate Joe. You're going to have a great day. The weather's going to be great. Everything is going to be fantastic up until the kickoff. So, you know, that should be an amazing situation. But I'm expecting to be entertained tomorrow. And if Tyler Angstrom, because there's nothing here I want to talk about this, make any confidence that he's a good offensive coordinator.
It's Sunday and it's Tanner, but continue.
Tanner, I want to see him come out with a game plan that's going to be conducive to scoring points and to make up for the fact that we have nobody that in receiver, and we do have a bunch of good tight ends. Smart's good. The kid from the Colts is good. They could all catch the ball, and I want to see 5 tight ends in the game. That's all I got to say. Enjoy yourself, and we'll talk soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he goes. The great Neil checking in with points unlike any other.
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
Thank you, Neil. Ralphie checking in. He says, Jake, do you see the Jets extending JJ like they did Garrett and Sauce? I think they do. I could see them trying to get something done with JJ this offseason. We'll see how he finishes the rest of the year, right? Can he stay healthy? Maybe you can get him at a bit of a discount. Or just Jermaine Johnson, though, seems like the kind of guy that wants to bet on himself, right? Another full year removed from the Achilles, go into the offseason, rehabbing, not having a rehab, being fully healthy. He might not want to take a deal the Jets are offering. He might want to play out his 5th-year option and have a big year and get paid more. Not saying the Jets still couldn't keep him. They then would have the franchise tag, and I think they'd want to pay him. He's a guy I think you want to keep. Premium position leader. We've seen the impact with him on the field versus off. I mean, the Jets' 2 best games defensively have been when he's there. But I could see him betting on himself. And let's just see, hopefully, look, as good of a player as he is, he's got to stay healthy now the rest of the way. Because if he gets banged up again, then you start having the injury-prone label on him. You know, an Achilles, that could happen to anyone. That's just a fluke thing. But then he missed some time with the ankle, missed 3 games. So let's see him now come back and be healthy the rest of the way. Because I love the guy. He's a phenomenal player. And we're giving away a signed Jermaine jersey at the end of the show. And Ralphie, you're in for 5. Now, Ralphie's follow-up comment here is he met Will Pa in London, and he was the one who defended Curly Norman. Probably was the beer talking. I'll tell you what, I've met Curly in person. I met him at the home opener last year at L5 when we did our big event, and he's a great guy. Most negative Jet fan probably in the chat. He was actually a Jet fan. We won't count Allen. But, yeah, I mean, Curly's a great dude. He really is. A tremendous humanitarian. All right. Home stretch. We got some legends on the line. But first, I need to play something because it needs to be played. I don't know how else to describe it. I think we all could use a little pick-me-up, right? We're all kind of down in the dumps right now. So let's get some laughs, then do the remaining calls. The show's already 2 hours plus. We're going to give away a JJ jersey. So this is going to play. And when we come back, a special guest will join us.
Hey, Beast, what's happening, buddy?
Not much, Captain Neil. We need to stop playing chicken shit football, get our heads out of our ass, and stop running around like a bunch of chickens with our goddamn heads cut off.
Listen, I have a great guinea pig story I have to tell you. A couple guinea pigs. I keep them in the den. I end up cleaning the cage. I'm like, these goddamn guinea pigs. So I put them outside in the patio. We get a big rainstorm. I didn't put holes in the bottom of the cage. The next day I come out, the guinea pigs are floating on top of the water in the cage. I know, it was horrible, Pete. Now I got to bury the guinea pigs. So I take a big hefty bag and I stick my hand in it and I pull the 2 guinea pigs into the hefty bag, right? So I take the bag and I go like this. Woo! And it hooks around the wire on top of the fence like a sneaker. Now I got the 2 guinea pigs dead hanging from a wire on the thing. Beast, don't get upset. I'm saying, when is an animal going to get to that thing and open the bag up and have some lunch? I figured crows, maybe a raccoon will go up there. That bag was up there for days and days. But it finally disappeared. Oh, Beast is getting upset.
Oh, no.
Beast, don't get upset. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Beast, I couldn't help it. They drowned. What do you want me to do? I couldn't help it. What? No, he's mad about the guinea pigs. He's pissed.
That's what I mean. He's a
Don't
penis,
be mad,
whatever you call
Beast. It was an accident. What do you want from me?
You don't want to go there.
He didn't do it on purpose.
Ooh.
No.
You don't want to do this. You don't want to go there.
I upset the Beast. Beast, don't be upset.
Oh, you just did. Did.
It was an accident. I couldn't help it.
Uh-oh. What's that? I'm confused.
Now, Beast, the good news is this. The latest photo of you and little Joey is one I think you're going to love. Gator made this just for you.
No, that's appropriate. That's much better. That's much better. Thanks, Gator. I'm warning you, Neil. You just opened the floodgates to your own personal hell. Not like that again. How dare you?
Gator says little Joey is going to be in next year's Hasmaniac Madness tournament.
We'll see. We'll see what happens first. Ever bring up a sick guinea pig story like that? It made me sick to my stomach.
What a moment in time. All right, we got a good laugh. We needed one. Nick Shine is on the line. He's funny to look at. Just kidding. He's a funny guy. Hey, Nick.
I'm gonna kick the crap out of you Sunday.
No, don't do that. You're
No,
bigger.
now I have to.
No.
Matter of principle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the event has been canceled due to not wanting to get my ass kicked.
Something cool in Jets news. I don't know if you touched on this at all. Did you see the news with Lavernius Coles?
I did not, no.
His wife shared it today, and it just popped up on my time feed on Instagram. He became a police officer in Jacksonville.
Really?
Yeah. Now, how long before he gets a call to go to the Dreams house?
I was thinking, Andrew C., you better make sure your drinking stays in your own, your own confines there. Don't
That would be one hell of a call in. He's out in the
public
back doing a Jet
intoxication.
chant. We got a disturbance call, and it's Lavernius Coles showing up.
Well, I didn't even know he was into being a police officer at all. Coles came to the event in London last year he brought Corbett and Tony Richardson with him. That's something.
Yeah, his wife tagged him, and it popped up in my, on my feed. But I thought that was pretty cool, man. That he's made millions of dollars. He got paid. It's not like it's guys from like the '70s who had to be like mailmen in the off season or drive trucks in the off season to work to just make ends meet because you weren't getting the big contracts. But I thought that was pretty. It's pretty cool of him. God bless him and keep him safe.
This was last year in London. And we had Coles, we had Corbett, Tony Richardson was also there.
Oh, and you got a handsome looking Mr. Gorilla Salad peeking over Coles' shoulder there.
Is that Gorilla Salad?
No, it's a handsomer version.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't think Knob was there. I don't remember him being there.
Yeah, but I've caught that news and I thought it was pretty interesting, and then I thought
Oh, I have other news too. I meant to mention this. So originally the Jets posted a graphic and it looked like they were gonna wear the alien all green look, but they're going green jersey, white pants. So they changed their mind. Maybe they heard the show.
that's better. That's good. And Mr. Gorilla Salad will be there with us on Sunday. He's flying up Sunday morning.
It's fantastic. Can't wait to hang out with Mr. Gorilla Salad, aka Knob Craft.
I support that message now. Tell that to the ladies if you don't mind. But yeah, man, looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good time. We got everything set up for the parking lot. Lot E26. It'll be fun.
Now, can I bring on Big Cho because he emailed me a bunch of different questions in regards to the tailgate, and I don't know if I'm qualified to answer some of them. All right.
Sure.
All right,
Let's do
stand by. I got to switch slides here on StreamYard, so we'll bring you back on, Nick. Hold on. We got Nick Shine here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Big Cho had some questions about the tailgate, and there's no better person to have on than Nick Shine himself. Gator says, I think Big Cho might need an intro.
Big Cho. Yeah, it's nice. I like my recliner. No, I just called to check in. Big Cho. I don't like all those wrinkles on my head. I don't have that many wrinkles.
We're talking
My implants are coming in 3 months.
The Kardashian ones?
I put the jet gear on for you. Been running some errands early. Came home just chilling. Jake.
Joe.
Nick.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on? Flying out tomorrow morning.
Now, Cho, I have your questions here. You sent me an email. You said, Jake, will there be places to sit down at the tailgate? In my condition, I can't stand for long periods of time. Also, will you be showing the 9:30 NFL game between the Rams and Jaguars? Thanks. I said, I believe there'll be places for you to sit, but I can't answer the question about the 9:30 game in London because I just don't know. Nick Shine, your thoughts?
I'm not sure if Tailgate Joe has TV set up, but normally in the parking lot, people will have a game. If there's a game going on, there's plenty of TV set up. I'm not bringing one, but you might be able to find one. And no, I don't believe there's chairs, but it's kind of like bring your own with chairs.
We'll get you a chair, Big Joe. There'll be some chairs around.
All right, because I'm not going to be able to bring a chair because I'm flying up.
We'll get you
Steal
a chair.
one from the hotel, throw it in the Uber.
Say what?
Steal one from the hotel, throw it in the Uber. Tell them I'll bring this back.
Well, I'm staying at an Airbnb.
Oh, perfect. You don't even have to worry about hotel people taking it. They'll have a chair there. See if they got a folding chair outside or something. On if you're staying, they got a back deck. See if you can bring a chair over. You can throw it in my truck during the game and then bring it back.
Knob says sit Indian style. Have you thought of that, Big Joe?
Crisscross applesauce.
I'd probably break in two if I did that. I wouldn't be able to get back up.
But then you'd have 2 tickets. It works out perfectly. Half of you in one seat, half of you in the other.
I never thought of that.
That's what I'm here for. That's why Jay kept me on. I got the answers.
There you go. Appreciate it. You know, I never call in or comment, but I listen to your show quite a bit.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
Do you like it more than Jake's?
No comment.
All right. We could talk Sunday privately. Jake sent it if we don't want to upset him.
Hey, Big Joe, the Jets want to know if this chair on the screen is good enough for you. They just reached out. They're watching.
That'd be perfect if somebody could bring that in.
Okay. I'll let them know.
We got to reach out to the people at Tonka and have them put that together for us.
Hey,
Any other questions?
Yeah, just a logistics question since I haven't been up there before. How hard is it to get an Uber after the game?
Harder than it is for the Jets to get a win this season, Big Joe.
Oh, God.
It's not hard at all, but there might be a wait, and it's going to be more expensive because there's going to be a surge with people getting out.
But we're going on the field afterwards, Big Joe, so that surge will die down a little bit, so it won't be as bad.
Oh, okay.
Did you fill out the waiver?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
What's that for?
So if you drop dead on the field, you can't sue the Jets.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I just got to
lose itself.
I got to take it a little slow because I'm going to have my cane with me.
No weapons allowed, though.
You can't bring in the cane?
No, that's a weapon.
No, it's not a weapon.
What about nunchucks?
No, I used to have some. I don't know where they're at. I'm not bringing those, though.
What about brass knuckles?
No, no brass knuckles.
Now, Big Joe, let's talk about the latest with your ticket that is up for grabs. We've been unable to sell it to this point. Mad Max reneged on the agreement. So we still have your extra ticket. Are you willing to go any lower with your price point, or are you still sticking at $105?
I guess I'll hear offers.
Okay.
But I'm not going to sell it for like $10 or something like that. You know, I'd rather eat it.
You gotta just have more leg room.
That's what she said.
Yeah, exactly. I have somewhere to put my cane.
What if a Carolina fan gets out of hand? Would you threaten them with the cane?
I'd give my cane to one of you guys and you could do it.
Hey, Georgie says, I got an idea. Stay home, chump.
Oh, Georgie. My God. Have a heart, man.
See, Georgie's a punk, man, because he never calls in. He just trolls the chat. We don't know what he looks like. or if he's even real. I told him where I'm going to be on Sunday. He's not going to show up and call me a chump.
But Joe,
Because
what if
if
I told you
he's going to
Georgie?
get his ass kicked.
Joe, what if I told you Georgie calls in all the time under a different name, and you've talked to him before, and this is his alter ego in the chat, and he's been messing with you the entire time because he wants to reveal himself in clear day right in front of you. I'd be on alert Sunday. He might be there.
I always heads up, always.
All right.
Big Joe, you excited?
Yeah, man, I'm just been finishing up a little packing, and I went out yesterday to get those little traveling things, the shampoo and stuff that you can take, so you can't take big bottles with you, you know what I mean?
What type of shampoo are you using, Big Joe?
Whatever I could find at the Dollar Tree, man.
You look like a Pert Plus guy.
My regular shampoos from
Hey,
wherever
Big
I-
Joe, someone
Yeah.
just made an offer to me. They don't want to disclose their name. They said if you pay them $50, they'll pay you $50 for the ticket.
What?
It's good
So
investment.
you give
Guaranteed
them
return on your investment. It's better than a Jets game.
right.
At least you're getting your money back.
So you give your ticket and $50 to this listener, and in exchange, they give you $50.
You know, it just popped into my head when Cartman tries to sell pubes to Scott Tinnerman. It gets ripped off.
Any interest? You're getting $50 out of it. You just have to
No.
give up $50 first, but then you get it back.
Yeah, but then you end up having $0.
Right, but you got $50.
Yeah,
But
you're
you
not
did-
losing the 50. You get the return. You get it back.
But why give up the 50?
Well, the 50 is to make sure that you get the ticket sold if you want the guarantee of getting the 50 back.
That don't make no sense, Jay.
All right. What if you give the full 105 and then you get that back? Now you're getting more money back.
Negative. What are you guys thinking about?
We're trying to make a deal, Big Joe.
Meatballs.
Yeah. You're not doing a good job, Jay.
I am not a meatball.
I told you he likes my show better than yours, Jake. He just called you out, said you're not doing a good job, Mr. 43K.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I had a deal done with Mad Max, and he reneged on it. I mean, we all watched the worst on-air negotiation of all time the other day, and then he reneged on spending the money. Mad Max wants to buy your ticket.
I'll pay you 25. Is that too little for you?
I won't go under 100.
Or $105. Does that sound good, Big Show?
105?
Yes.
Wait, hold on a second. Why are you negotiating the opposite direction?
I'm just negotiating with Big Show. I'll buy your ticket,
What are you saying, 105?
105.
$105.
105. Yes, sir. For one ticket for the Panthers game.
All right, Jake, that's good.
Sounds good, Jake.
A deal has been made. Big Cho has officially sold his ticket to Mad Max.
Sounds good, Jake.
One of the worst negotiations I've ever witnessed, but a deal did get done. I mean, what am I supposed to do, Big Cho? I thought we had a deal with Mad Max.
Has Max called in since?
Yeah, he just reneged on it and went all, I'm on cocaine. And then we couldn't understand anything else he said.
Checks out.
Yep.
I was hoping he would buy the ticket. I was looking forward to meeting him, having him sit next to me.
Jay Quest asked what section is the ticket in. I will pay you $105 just not to have Jay Quest sit with us.
Jay Quest, I can answer that. The section is in the Asmaniac section, so it's 129. I believe it is row 34, seat 20 something.
Well, my ticket is 44 seats. The one for sale is 44 seats 7.
Okay, so that's what it is. Yeah, it's in that. It's in our section though. We're all in 129.
Yeah, they're pretty good seats. I've never been to the stadium.
Oh, they're great seats. Originally, those were selling for $200, but now the Jets stink, so they're not going for $200 on the secondary market.
Was he being serious about $100 to sit in the suite and get food?
I don't know Neil's sources on that.
He didn't get to that point. That was point 17. The call got cut off.
Correct. If we're going to recap Neil's call, I have just the guy that puts that together for us, ladies and gentlemen. This is from our resident statistician for the Asmaniac universe. This is from Boomtown. Here is Neil's call recap brought to you by potentially your brand. 1, wished everyone a good morning when it was the afternoon. 2, Neil now wants a 40 is the new 30 shirt. 3, was impressed watching 2 old men throw the football last night. 4, wants to run 5 tight end sets on offense this Sunday. 5, is tired of seeing subpar wide receivers. 6, does not want to pay $105 to sit beside Big Cho. 7, confirms the weather will be nice Sunday. Neil used 7 of his 13 comments during this call.
Well done, Boom.
Spencer
So, do you have
Green
any more
says-
tailgate questions?
Hold on. Spencer Green says, I'll buy the Beast a plane ticket and Cho's ticket to give to Beast. All right, now we're talking here, Spencer.
What are we doing?
Spencer wants to buy the ticket and give it to Beastbreaker. Your thoughts, Big Joe?
Yeah, but doesn't Beast live in Chicago?
He lives in an attic.
Yeah, but it's in Chicago though, right?
We think it's in the Illinois state.
Yeah, so he's not going to be at the game. He's going to be in Illinois.
Well, maybe he'll buy him a plane ticket too.
Can you imagine that being that TSA person as Beast show up?
He wouldn't even come. Somebody bought him the ticket and bought him airfare. He still wouldn't come. I guarantee you that.
Okay, we have an offer. Hold on. Breaking news. John LG says, I'll give him the $100 if he pays for my parking and tailgate.
How much is parking?
Nick, how much is parking?
Cho, how much is parking?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Jake.
How much did you pay for your parking, Nick?
Oh, I had to upgrade to get the platinum pass. From the Jets, it's 45.
Okay, so 45 plus $55 for the tailgate.
We're gonna run into the afternoon show by the time you do the math.
So that's 90, I believe.
That's 100.
It's 100.
Or it's 100.
Yes.
Where'd you
Not a
go to
math guy.
school, Jake? Where'd you go to school?
Clown University.
Yeah, I went to Florida State. I wonder where you went.
Pepperoni U.
That was so good. Thank you, John. That paid off tremendously.
Wait, it's $45 for the parking, right? And then
Yeah.
55. Okay. Yep.
Can't add high.
Okay. So parking and tailgate is $100, and John's willing to offer you $100. Sounds like a good deal to me, Big Cho. Your thoughts?
Sounds like I'm not getting any money again. You guys are the worst negotiators in the human life.
Yeah, but think about it. Last time you had to put up 50. Now you're putting up 100, but getting back 100.
You were saying I was putting up 50. I never was putting up 50. That's on you.
Well, this is why you can't get rid of the seat, though, Cho. Like, maybe we're not the bad negotiators. Unless you want the leg room, then chomp, eat it.
I'll just eat it and use the leg room, put my cane on the other seat.
So you rather eat it than have the opportunity for another Asmaniac to take part in a glorious day of New York Jets football.
They're not coming up with anything. Nobody's saying anything.
John LG just came up with a great solution.
I'm not paying for his parking in the tailgate. That doesn't give me any money.
I think Knobcraft has the best offer so far.
Now Kraft says, I'll give him $40, but you got to get him a hooker.
Hooker. I got to get him a hooker?
Well, you could share. You can get one, too.
I don't need to get one. Calm your freaky down.
I don't know what you think this is, Big Show. It's a family show.
You guys are the ones that brought up hookers, not me.
Well, to be fair, it's not.
To be fair, what?
Ralphie says, you trying to get top price when the Jets are 0-6 is prime as maniac delusion.
Why do you have 2 seats, by the way?
Well, I had a friend coming.
Why can't your friend pay you back, by the way? Why is it on? Like, why do you have to take the hit here when your friend is the one who ditched you?
Because that was part of the deal, him coming up. I told him I'd get the ticket if he could fly up and share. Well, at the time it was going to be a hotel, so split the hotel. And
so he stuck you with the ticket and the full price of the Airbnb? Dude, this has got to be an ex-friend.
We have to
Yeah.
start questioning your friends, Big Joe. This is not how you treat a friend.
You don't want to question this guy.
I do.
No, I don't think so. He's one big motherfucker. He make Gator, not Gator, but Beast look like a little midget.
Hey now,
Okay.
John writes in.
And
Hey.
he's an expert in martial arts like myself, so he'd kick both your asses with no trouble.
Wait, are you
What
an
does that have to
expert
do
in?
with questioning, though? We can ask a question like, "Why are you being a dick to Cho?" Why does it have to go to violence right away? Like, if that's the type of friend he is, then why do you have this guy in your life, Cho? Come on.
But you called him a dick. If you,
He's being a dick if he's costing you hundreds of dollars after he committed to it. You can't agree with that?
No, I understand.
I'm looking out for you, Cho. You're the homeboy.
I got you. I
This guy
appreciate that.
robbed you.
And nothing I can do about it.
You do have a cane.
That is
Hey,
true.
Big Joe. John
Yeah.
LG says I'll pick him up and take him back to his Airbnb.
For the ticket?
All right, John. So what is the offer here? If you're going to pick up Big Joe and take him back to the Airbnb, what are you willing to pay for the ticket?
Where's the Airbnb, Cho?
It's in Newark.
All right. So you're probably paying $30 on the Uber to get there. And then you're probably going to pay double to get out because it's going to be a surge. So you're going to save $100-something right there. At least you're saving money now on the Uber if John picks you up and drops you off.
John
Nope,
has already
says
said no
It
deal.
took too
No
long to
deal.
take it.
It's over. Done.
All right.
No deal. All right. Well,
I
Big
was gonna
Joe, we
say-
still have our second show today to try and sell this thing.
Say yes. He didn't give me a chance to say yes.
All right, I have another offer here from Pred. He lives in Estonia, Big Joe. He says, I'll pay $105 for it if you pay for his plane ticket from Estonia to Newark.
Where's Estonia at?
It's near Russia.
Negative.
Okay.
What happened to the ride to the game? I'll take that.
Well, I don't think he has a car.
Oh,
He doesn't have a license either.
That too.
great. Phony offers.
Jay Quest says Spencer's
Oh,
buying.
you have a phony friend, Cho. Excuse me, Jake. I'm upset. You have a phony friend. That's why this whole problem started. It's not on the chat. It's on your fake friend.
Oh, we have an offer here. Spencer Green says, damn it, Joe. If I send you $40, will you give the ticket to an Asmaniac? That's a pretty good compromise. And I could take the extra ticket. And I got people that have been emailing me trying to see if I have extras. And I could distribute it accordingly. And you're getting $40 out of it.
Cho,
And someone has the and then maybe one of our raffle prizes this afternoon is the ticket to sit with Big Joe, courtesy of Spencer.
Why don't you raffle off the ticket?
Oh, that now we're negotiating, Cho. Good counter.
I don't think
Jake?
people want the ticket though, Big Joe. That's the problem. People don't want to pay for this thing.
But you didn't ask.
I have been asking every show, does anyone want to buy your ticket? I've stuck my neck out for you in more ways than you know, Big Show. I've answered it at the speed of light every email of the 500 that you have sent me in the last 2 weeks.
Why are you getting upset?
Because you just said I haven't asked, and I have been
You yelled at
trying.
him.
You yelled at me. Yeah, I've been trying tooth and nail to sell this thing for you.
I don't raise my voice. I didn't yell at you.
You did.
No.
Your shirt ruffled with the deep breath that you took and you yelled at
My
him.
Asmaniac shirt.
I've been up for 24 straight hours trying to get this thing sold.
To be fair, Jake's up for 22 straight hours. He just messed up with counting the hours.
Could be it as well.
Good one, Nick.
Thank you. Oh, look at that, Jake. We're teaming up against you now. Ha ha. That's my evil laugh.
Joe, new offer, $50.
From who?
Spencer Green will pay $50.
Okay.
And he will buy the ticket and allow me to distribute it to an Asmaniac.
That's okay.
Blitz BK has an offer at 107 coming in.
Blitz BK, where is he?
Not $107. The time 107.
Oh. Now Crab says, Jake, at game time, that ticket will be worth $20. That's my offer.
No,
Also-
we can do what Spencer said.
Ooh, are you accepting Spencer's offer?
What was it, 50?
$50.
So another Asmaniac can come?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wow, we got a deal, baby. Let's go. Yes. Let's go, Big Joe. Yeah. Cha-ching. Moneybag Joe. Spencer Green, an American hero. Spencer, I'm going to give you an extra 10 raffle entries if you're going to spend $50 on this ticket. That's very
I
kind
will
of
say
you.
this though. I think it's a bad deal. Blitz BK offered 80 in the chat. Cho
Where?
didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Where?
107.
Oh, I thought you were joking that he offered
No,
107.
the time was 107. I'm sorry.
Hold on. We might not have a deal here. I'm trying. Joe, see,
No, deal's accepted. Cho
No.
made a bad deal.
No.
This is deal or no deal. We just
No.
opened up the briefcase and it's no deal.
I am overriding it here because I didn't see this. So I don't. I want to do what's right for my client here. See, Big Joe, even after you rip me, I'm still defending you here. All right, Blitz BK.
I ripped you. I apologize.
80. There was an $80 offer, so this thing is not sold yet. Blitz BK.
Wow. If I'm Spencer, I'm pissed.
Are you in for 80?
I'm in for 80.
Okay, now I'm going to give Spencer a chance. Hold on. Super chat here. Frank just sent in a $50 super chat to say, damn it, Joe, I'll give you $100 and give it to an Asmaniac. Wow. Frank, with the offer of all offers. Frank, what about you? You don't want to come? I think you live in the tri-state. I've sent you merch and raffle prizes. Frank, you should come. You and Big Joe. That'd be fantastic entertainment.
Yeah, have him come.
All right, where do things stand here? Let me look. Let me check. Frank P is a goat, no doubt. This community is unbelievable. Let's see. Frank, if this is a real offer, I have no reason to think it's not. I think we got to take this deal here. That is a great deal. Joe, you're getting $100, and we get to give it to an Asmaniac if Frank doesn't want to go himself.
And you can replace your old friend with your new friend, Frank. Sounds like a good deal. This Frank doesn't even know you and he looks out for you. Your old friend sucks.
It's a real deal. Here's what we'll do, too. Second show today, we'll have people enter for a chance to win this ticket to sit next to Big Joe. Now, that is going to be electric YouTube content.
Sounds good.
All right, we have a deal, ladies and gentlemen. Frank P has done it. All right, here's how this will work. Frank, you have my Venmo. You can send it to me, Jake-Asman, or Zell it to me. It's my email, asmanjake@gmail. And then I will see to it that Big Joe gets it. All right, Big Joe, you have Venmo, you said, right?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Beautiful. So let it come to me first, and then I'll make sure.
He sent for the tailgate. I have it if you don't.
Okay,
yeah,
beautiful.
I'll send it to somebody.
He sent it to me for the tail. I'll just push it to you, Jake.
Love it. All right, we'll figure this out. Either way, Big Joe, I will get you the money from Frank, whether he sells it to me or Venmos to me. Either way, that's why I said if he wants to send it to me first, either way, I'll then reroute it to you, and He says he's working on it now. Frank, whatever method of payment you prefer, we'll make it happen. Big Joe, how you feeling? We sold your ticket. Thank Frank.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Frank. Hey, Nick, I have another tailgating question.
Oh my God. Yes, Big Joe.
Is Nick there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see you. Not, you know how I told you I'm getting the Uber from the Airbnb?
Yes.
Now, when I tell them, you just tell them you're going down to MetLife Stadium and you need to go to E26.
Well, you don't tell them anything because, in my experience in New Jersey, there seems to be a language barrier with a lot of the drivers.
Oh, great.
So you just put the address in for MetLife Stadium, and then it automatically will bring you to the Uber drop-off, which is Lot E. And then you just walk away from the stadium, and we're the last back corner.
Okay. All right. That's
Anything else on your mind, Big Show? Or we're all set here.
no, we're all
And if,
set. Appreciate it.
yeah, when you get out of the Uber, if there's a golf cart there, look for security with a golf cart. Tell them you have an issue, and if they can give you a ride out. And if you get a security guy named Steve, just say, "Hey, do you remember Bobby Midnight?"
Okay.
He knows him well.
Does he know you?
Not me. No, I don't ever give my real name. I give Jake's name.
Got it.
And also have a GoPro on you because I need your entire journey documented, please.
Have a what?
Good God. All right. Thank you, everybody. I see Nick Shine just laughing his ass off on hold. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. All right. Paulie in the raffle for 5. I'm counting the names here, and then what is it, show 3 hours already? I'm supposed to be on at 4 with Ferry. I'm pushing that one back. Paul, thank you for supporting the show. I'm going to get you in the JJ raffle here for the signed jersey. Paulie Dog. I think that's Paul Taxter, though. Paul Taxter, I got you. I hate that YouTube changed usernames to @handles for everyone. He's in for 5. I got him down. I'm going to count up the remaining names. Spencer Green says, Big Chill, I covered your tailgate. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Nick, I'll connect with you off air about Big Cho's tailgate ticket because that is unbelievable. And I also just received the money from Frank. So Spencer just covered the tailgate ticket for Cho, and Frank just covered the ticket for Big Cho that we will raffle away or come up with some sort of contest on the second show today for whoever gets this ticket to sit next to Big Cho at the game. Gator, we're going to need a graphic for the second show. Win a trip to sit next to Big Cho at a Jets game on Sunday. Frank Page is making it rain again. Holy hell. Frank, I'm giving you another 10 entries here. Unbelievable. Thank you. Spencer, I'm going to account for your entries too, for your unbelievable gesture. Thank you. This fan base, man, incredible. Incredible. I cannot express that express that enough. We're all good. Spencer says, I sent you a Venmo. I got you. I got Frank. Here's proof, folks. Frank and Spencer's Venmos have been paid. So Big Cho, your tailgate is now covered, and your ticket because your friend screwed you over is now covered as well. I think the original price of the ticket was $165. So basically everything is now comp for you. Man, if only the Jets were as awesome as their fans. Well done. All right, I'm going to count the raffle names here. I'm going to bring Nick Shine on because I need someone to talk while I do this. Nick, your thoughts on how things transpired?
I'm going to tell you what just transpired for me. I have YouTube open. I edited my show to move it to afterward because I was going to do one at 12:45, and I just super chatted myself $10 thinking I was in your chat. The comment was, I wish we could interview Cho's Uber drivers post-trip.
Cho, just film as much as you can, man. All right, we want it all. We'll somehow get it in the recap video for this bad boy. All right.
It's going to be quite the weekend, man. Who even cares about the game at this point? Like,
who do you think should sit next to Big Cho?
Who do you think? Group tailgate and hang out in the lot for the game. We don't even buy tickets next year. It's
unbelievable.
It'll be so much more fun.
This was an all-timer, folks. It really was. All right, I'm counting up the names here. Need ChatGPT to spit out my list, and then we're gonna raffle away a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey. But this community steps up again. Big Cho's tailgate covered. His ticket that his friend screwed him out of covered. Victory for the Jet fan. Will there be victory for the Jets on the field Sunday? That's all that there's left to do.
Yeah, I mean, what are we gonna do? Chuba Hubbard's back. Dowdle's running off. It's gonna be a tough game, man. This is not. We looked at this in the beginning of the year and thought this was a W, right? We all did the W and L's for the 17, and we thought this was going to be one of our W's. So it's
also Frank, real quick. Frank, Spencer, I think I have your size, but Frank and Spencer each email me. I want to send you guys Garrett Wilson shirts as a small token of appreciation for what you're doing for Big Show, Big Cho. So email me, and I will make sure that I send you guys some merch this week. All right, I have all the names. Nick, I will see you Sunday Are you still doing a show, or your show is?
I just moved it to after work. I'll be on tonight.
Beautiful.
11:20 tonight. When I get out of work, I'll be on. Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to the Nick Shine Show, please. I'm 2 away from 1,800. If you want to be one of the people that help make that happen, that would be a nice little surprise for today. Thank you, everybody, and I will spend my super chat that I sent myself wisely. Later, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine. All right. The names have been counted. Big Cho's tailgate and game ticket have been secured. And now it's time for someone to win a Jermaine Johnson signed jersey.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Wheel of Champions is on the screen. Mike, I see. Don't forget my super chat. I didn't. I included you. I just didn't acknowledge it because I forgot to. Looks like Cho got taken advantage of by his friend. That he did, but we made him right. Everyone else is accounted for on the wheel. Where's my music, please? All right. If you win, it's very easy. You just got to email me your actual name, your address, so I know where to send the signed JJ jersey to. We understand? Great. Good luck to everyone. But only one can win today. If you don't win, you might win on Tuesday in our weekly raffle. We got 3 awesome prizes to give away then. Good luck to everyone. Stack, don't remind me to shuffle. I already did. I always do. And I'll do it 7 more times just for you. Here we go. The winner is... Aria. She or he, I don't want to assume, is your winner. Aria entered the raffle with a super chat early on in the show saying, I blame myself. The following jerseys what I own. Darrell Revis, Geno Smith, Darnold, Rodgers. I apologize. Well, you're about to own a signed JJ jersey, Aria. Shoot me an email, asbinjake@gmail.com, and you will be receiving that jersey in the mail in the near future. Hit the Jet chant for Aria, a longtime supporter of the show. Appreciate you, Aria. Thanks to everyone who watched. This was a very lengthy show, unexpected, but for all the right reasons. Best community. Thank you again to Spencer and Frank. Both of you, please shoot me an email, and I want to send you guys some merch as a small token, again, of appreciation. Love all of you. We're back this afternoon. Nick Faria's game preview. We'll do over-unders on the Jets and the Panthers. Try and win you guys some money on FanDuel. Plus, we'll have another Bites and Breakdown segment with Ariel Nash as well. I will talk to you guys in a few short hours. Thanks for watching. Go Jets, everyone. Jets. Jets, Jets, Jets.
What is this? Who is this guy? Bad freaking Bunny. What is that?
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets.